Hey everyone, back again with the PokeFlipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles, Dan. How are we doing today, Dan?
I'm doing very well. I'm leaving for a lengthy vacation tomorrow.
I almost
So
forgot about that.
yeah, I'm excited. I think I put something in the title about conventions because I spelled convention wrong. I see that now.
Oh my god, we're off to a great start.
You can see how much of a rush that I'm in because I can't even spell convention. I'm gonna see if I can go edit it on the fly. But yeah, it's been a hectic week. I have Cleveland Collecticon this weekend, and then we're doing like Niagara Falls with the family for a few days afterwards. And then we have the 4th of July, so like into a holiday weekend. And then the following weekend is New Jersey Collecticon. So I'm going to be taking another week off with that. We're doing New Jersey Collecticon, and then we're doing we're actually gonna stay at what's it called? Atlantic City. We're gonna stay in Atlantic City for a couple nights, and we're gonna go to a couple theme parks around there with the kids. So
Does Atlantic
busy
City
times.
what is there to do in Atlantic City with kids? Isn't that casinos?
There's casinos. Like, there's a lot of non-casino stuff too. There's like the boardwalk, and there's like a little carnival type thing almost, like a lot of stuff to eat and see and whatever. Nate Steel Pier maybe it's called, or something like that. But Storybook Land is really close to there, which is kind of like a very low budget, like Disney type thing. And then Diggerland. We're actually going to be going to Diggerland after New Jersey Collecticon, which is like kids can ride in and use skid steers and excavators and things of that nature, which is pretty interesting for like a theme park. Theme park with heavy machinery. Yeah. So
is that for your kids or is that for you?
See, I grew up doing all that stuff because my dad like had all that equipment. Like I've run bulldozers before, I've run excavators, I've run all kinds of stuff. So they'll get to do some of the stuff that I did in my childhood.
We go.
But it's also partially for me though. But we actually went and we watched like a YouTube video of a Diggerland review and of a Storybook Land review. I was pulling for Diggerland, my wife was pulling for Storybook Land. Both the kids voted Diggerland. So that said, somehow my wife, we ended up talking it into like we're gonna do both, even though the kids voted for the right one. Somehow we're still going to hers, but it'll be a good time.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot Cleveland was coming up this weekend too. That'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah, a lot of people.
We got so much happening this weekend. Cleveland, card party.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people are going to card party instead. But me and Florida don't mix post-May. I've been there and I don't want to be there. I'm up in New York right now, and New York is feeling like Florida. I mean, we had a couple back-to-back 95-degree days on Monday and Tuesday. They actually made half days for my kids at their school all week. So today was their last day of school. I just picked them up and I brought them to their grandparents. And then tonight we're gonna go drop the dog off because she's gotta be watched while we're gone. But yeah, I've had 4 half days of work this week. I've been staying up late, working late nights. But I had a lot to do given that I'm taking a week off, and then school hits like, hey, half days all week. Made it difficult. It's been a busy week. I'm very ready to take some time off.
Sounds it.
But yeah, so what's your? I just went through my whole. Or go ahead.
Are you so you're leaving for Cleveland tomorrow? How long are you taking off for Cleveland, Niagara Falls, and all that? Are you pretty much the whole week, going right till 4th of July, or?
We'll be back on the 3rd. So we'll get to do Canada Day in Canada, and then we'll do USA Day, the 4th of July, in USA on Friday when we get back. How about you? What do you got going on in the next couple of weeks? I think you got a convention this weekend. You've got big things coming up next week.
There's a local show this weekend that I'll be going to. So hopefully that's a good one. I hope it is. It's a 2-day show, which I don't like 2 days. But hopefully it's a good one. It's supposed to be a really big one, so we'll see. It's their first. They do monthly shows, and it's my favorite monthly show to go to. They do a really good job organizing it, promoting it. There's usually always a good turnout. So hopefully this one will go well. Where it's 2 days, we'll see. And there's a lot more vendors. Like usually it's like 150 vendors or tables. For this one, it's 450 tables. So it's a lot bigger of a show. So hopefully that'll go well. And then we got Thrifty coming in on Tuesday afternoon. She'll be flying in. So that'll be exciting. So we'll have the official stream team here starting Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Maybe I'll give her first day here off.
Before we went live, we were talking about it a little bit, but a lot of stream teams floating around now. We got Old School Pokemon hiring Thrifty. We got the KetchumAllCollectibles team, PK Ponga, Skya doing a little bit of MetaZoo, and then Carton Gaming. Mason just dropped a video. Kinda, if you're in this space, in this group, in some of the various Discords, you've probably heard about it. But like Mason made a video finally detailing the fact that he, Chef, Wonder, Jake, BB. I need to be careful that I don't leave any names out now that I'm listing them all. Did I catch them? Bierski? Did I catch them all? I think I caught them all there.
One more.
Who did I miss?
Legend of Luke.
Legend of Luke is yeah. He's not going to be streaming, but he's like the brand content guy or whatever. But yeah, they've got quite the operation they're building there. Exciting to follow along on that journey. I hope they periodically document what's going on there. I don't think they'll be quite as transparent as the operation that I run, but any content I'll be happy to see.
Yeah, no. Hopefully Mason does videos on it. I'd even be curious to see that. I've been going into their streams, scoping out the competition.
You getting nervous?
No. No. We're good to go.
You guys will be fine.
I think so. I think so.
S tier, we're talking Old School and Thrifty, and then all of that gang. Tiers below somewhere.
Yes.
We gotta like get some clip-worthy moments so that people can feed them to them, and then they can come back with something.
There we go.
Some responses, some content from them.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, let me say hi to some people in here. E-Unit and Julia, right when it ticked 116, about 10 seconds before I went live. I saw their comments drop in late. We appreciate you guys being here, holding us accountable, because we did fail you. We were 1 minute late today.
We did fail you.
Mitch McCann, yeah, pre-convention, convention. I can't even change it. I don't think you can edit a live title. At least it's not letting me. The save button is just, yeah. Oh, wait. No, maybe I can. No, I actually just did. I did just click one extra button. So I fixed it now. You'd have to refresh to see it, though. So it'll be there and evident for everyone that I failed there, too. Nice to see you, Pokey Bondo, Kiki Jiki. Nick, are we still booming? That's a good question.
We are 100% still booming. We are 100%. There is no slowdown in sight. Which I don't get. Like, have you been watching? Like, yeah, you have. Like Poke content. People are saying that the next gen, or not the next, whatever we call it, the next block with the mega sets, booster box pricing is going to start to come down. We'll see MSRP boxes again. What is making people say this? Because, like, I mean,
I agree with that, though. I agree with that.
How?
But, like, I wouldn't say that's the boom ending. This 6-month period that we've been in, where every box is above 200, It's not sustainable. If people are calling that a crash, then I think a crash is coming. I don't think an actual crash is coming. Like, I don't define Destined going to 150 as a crash. I don't define Journey going to 120 as a crash. I think those things will happen in the next year. I think maybe it won't be Black Bolt and White Flare. Maybe it'll be the next set. But at some point, relatively soon, we will see boxes under MSRP again. And if that's a crash, I don't agree with it. I wouldn't call it that. But yeah, I truly think that's coming. I think logic and reason. And
what makes you think that?
Logic, reason, sanity. Logic, reason, and sanity are the three major things that make me think that.
There's no logic, reason, or sanity in the Pokemon market.
As far as signs, here's where I'll hit some actual data. We sold all of let me get the numbers handy in front of me. But we sold 17,000 packs in February, 21,000 packs in March, 17,000 packs in April. We did do 21,000 in May, but that's because we did so many like for Destined Rivals. And June, it looks like we're going to be like 15,000. So June is going to be the slowest month since we started. And maybe it'll be 16 or 17. I haven't updated this in about 4 or 5 days. But that's one thing I wanted to say. The streams, we're definitely feeling it a little bit. It's not like it's over. It's not like, again, not like the market's going to zero. But let me pop in these fresh numbers because I haven't pulled this in like a week. But you're not seeing any slowdown in like your pack rips or anything? We definitely are. And I've heard from others that they are on different platforms.
Because like last night I went live and it was a super short pack ripping night. But then Monday night, on a Monday night, I started my stream at 8 p.m. and I went until 5 a.m. on a Monday night. It was wild.
This Monday?
Yeah.
Our Monday was terrible, so they must have all been over with you. That's funny.
So no, it's still. I would say it's still pretty consistent. I don't keep track of the numbers like you do. But yeah, no, I don't. Overall, I don't think I've noticed much of a slowdown.
I'm sorry. I'm going through this spreadsheet. I'm going to be popping in the fresh data, and then I can spit out my last 7 days, and all those good metrics.
You're good. I will like. I don't see how stuff is going to get back to normal with because people are excited about mega sets. And yes, that first mega set, whatever we're getting, it's not super exciting. But I think right after that, we get a Charizard, we get a Rayquaza. It's going to be right back to where we're at right now. Unless Pokemon starts printing a ton more for this next block, I don't see it.
And there's a lot I could say here. I don't think we'll get back to like the normal of 2014 to 2019. I agree in many ways that we are in a new normal from that perspective. But how some people use the term new normal, some people just take it way farther than I would be comfortable taking it. Some people take it like every box is going to be 200 at release forever, and anything other than that would be defined as a crash. I think that's insanity. I don't abide by that at all. I truly think Pokemon will succeed in getting every set under MSRP as they have for the past 30 years. Maybe it'll only be for a day or a week or a very short time relative to what it used to be in the past. But I see maybe not every box. Like a year ago, every box was sub $100. Every single one. SV1 through SV5, all the new ones. I don't think we'll get to where it's that drastic. I don't think we'll get to where next block, 8 sets in a row are under $100. But of 8, there might be 3 or 4 under $100, in my opinion, at various times. I think that will be like the new normal. Not everything for 95 shipped on P-Football Pete, not Safari Zone pre-orders, unlimited quantity at $89.99, $99.99 shipped or whatever. But I would answer, yes, we are still booming. but it's going to be more calm than it was the last few months, in the next few months. My opinion, my take. And I think we will see Journey. I think Journey will be the first one because it's the worst one, in my opinion. I think Journey will go under MSRP first. I think Destined will follow. And if I'm wrong, I'm open to being wrong. I might be wrong on this. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong on Prismatic. If one set can't get brought under MSRP, I think it will be Prismatic over Destined Rivals. But I still think they'll get that one under MSRP. If I'm wrong, I've been saying for months now, every set will be widely available under MSRP. I still stand by that. But if I end up being wrong, I think I'm more likely to be wrong on Prismatic than on Destined Rivals. I think Journey Together is going to be
Destined will be MSRP than Prismatic.
Correct. I think they'll both be MSRP, like, mind you, but I think there's an 85% chance Destined will be MSRP, and I think there's an 80% chance Prismatic will be MSRP. Something like that. I made up numbers, but like proportionally something like that. Journey Together, 95 to 99% chance. I think that's going to go under MSRP. I think that's the weaker set, and it's not newer than Destined, but it's newer than Prismatic. So yeah, those are my estimates. That's where I stand.
Have you sold? What are your numbers for Prismatic and Destined? You've had it this whole time. I've been in and out, but I've sold way more Destined than Prismatic.
I sold 13,780 packs of Prismatic and 9,553 packs of Destined. So Destined is going to pass it in the next month or two, maybe. But yeah, we've had them in stock the whole time. We didn't play the whole moral high ground selling for MSRP. We were the monsters that sold it at market and kept it in stock.
Yeah, see, I still think Destined is so much more popular than Prismatic. So I think the opposite. I can't see Destined dropping that much. But I can see Prismatic. I think people will eventually get sick of Prismatic.
And I think a reasonable like argument against what I just said is, hey, look at the 151 Costco drops last summer. Look at Sea and Sky Crown Zenith. Look at what they do with specialty sets to make sure they go under MSRP. I think that's a reasonable argument, but it's a small percentage difference, 5% more likelihood either way or the other. And I ultimately think both. I think both will go under MSRP. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to be too upset if I end up being wrong. Like, if Destined is the one that doesn't go under MSRP, it would surprise me a little bit, but not a whole lot. I would be more surprised that any of them didn't go under MSRP.
It will be interesting. It will be interesting. Because Destined has been holding so strong at $250 a box. $250 a box, $7 a pack. It's been holding so strong at that price.
I do have to use this as a moment to shout out the paywall. I don't shout that out too often in here. But this past Sunday, I did a presentation on the live streams and how they've been going and how weekly, daily, monthly pack sales and how many of each. I gave you some insight there into how much of Prismatic and Destined sold. But I went a lot deeper, and I will say, I just popped in the data. I have like this really cool spreadsheet that I keep now. I just pop in the raw data export from Fanatics, and I have a dashboard that automatically updates all these different charts, all these different spreadsheets. I'll have to show you sometime. It's really, really nice. But week 25 of 2025, which just ended a couple of days ago, that was our lowest week since January. That was our lowest number of packs sold since January, which January PK wasn't full time. So we have sold the least packs we sold. So it's not like I'm saying it entirely based on hopium or whatever, hoping things go under MSRP, hoping things go back to whatever this new normal is. I'm genuinely seeing things in our anecdotal stream data. I know we're just one small operation on one small platform, Fanatics, but I truly think over summer, things are going to slow a decent bit. And I think Pokemon will be able to catch up, and I think they will be able to get at least, like, If I will be shocked if Journey is not sub MSRP by like September. I will be pretty shocked.
Journey, I would agree with you on. Journey, I could definitely see. Destin and Prismatic, I can't see it.
You'll see it, Nick. In time. In time, you'll see it.
Maybe I need to go to the eye doctor. Maybe I need to go to the eye doctor. I am blind right now.
But yeah, I haven't been keeping up with the live chat. Let me scroll down. Mitch McCann said, "Drop the kids off at Storybook Land while you guys full degen at the casino." Well played. I probably. So we're actually going to be staying at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City, and this isn't next week. This is the one after New Jersey. So I'll probably talk about it more in the next PokeFlipz. But we're staying at the Hard Rock just because it's a nice hotel. There's nice restaurants in it. I live near a casino, which we go to occasionally with the kids to like go get dinner. So we'll probably have like nice meals at the restaurant, hotel, casino restaurants, but we're not going to be playing it all. We're going to be going out, hopefully decent weather, walk the boardwalk, and play a bunch of Pokemon Go and whatever else is going on around there. I'm sure there'll be a lot for kids to do.
Yeah, that'll be a fun trip. I did not realize there was so much more in Atlantic City. I thought it was. I've never been. I thought it was all casino.
No, it's not. I mean, even Vegas. Like Vegas, there would be a lot of things. I went to Vegas when I was 15, and I had a blast. Mm-hmm. Me and my sister went, and we rode the rides in Circus while our parents were gambling a bit, whatever. But we went to different shows. We ate a lot of good food. That's the main things, I guess. A lot of different shows and a lot of food, while our parents gambled some.
Speaking of Vegas, do you or does anyone in chat know of anyone who's gone to the one of the eBay Open events? Because they finally brought it back to in person. It's August 12th through 14th in Vegas, and I used to watch like a general flipper type video, and he went to one of the eBay Opens back when they used to do them before COVID, and he was saying it was a really, really good time, and he recommended anyone interested should definitely go. So it got me thinking about going, and then COVID happened, so they stopped them, and then they've been doing them online since then, but they're finally bringing it back in person this year. And I saw that it was happening. I'm thinking about going to it. But I don't know if anyone has gone. Is it worth it? Because it's kind of expensive. It's like $300 to go to the event, and then you got to pay for your hotel. They have like a group discount for the hotel, but then you got to pay for your flight and food and gambling money, obviously.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, just win. I mean, don't lose at the tables, and then you pay for your trip. It's easy. But
I'd be curious. If anyone has gone, shoot me a message.
Ray, I'm indeed drinking milk. I was scarfing down my...
Disgusting.
Why are people so disgusted by milk? Back in my day, when you went to school, I think it still happens in schools today, doesn't it? You get milk with every lunch. I'm drinking milk with my lunch because that's what I was raised into doing. I mean, I grew up in the farmland in upstate New York, and we got milk cartons with our lunch where I went to.
You don't drink milk when it's a bajillion degrees outside.
It's 70 degrees in my house, Nicholas. I have air conditioning. I actually find it really...
I can see you out on your lawnmower with a nice little thermos of milk.
Never on the lawnmower. No, I'm with you. You don't drink that in the sun. You don't drink it when you're in high temperature area. I'm in an air conditioned home. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm enjoying a nice glass of 1% milk. I used to do whole milk, and then I went down to 2%, and now it's 1%. But why are people so anti-milk? I get a kick out of how like visceral of a reaction people get. It's like, we're mammals. We're I know I'm a human mammal.
Mammals.
This is a different mammal, but like, we're intended to drink milk. We're intended to drink milk.
No, I can't just randomly drink a glass of milk. You got to have it with dinner.
I mean, I had it with lunch, and I just have a little bit left, so I'm finishing it up.
People in my eBay Live thought I was a weirdo for this. So what is your? Do you have like a dinner or like a meal that you think goes really good with milk over like other meals?
Pasta for sure.
Thank you.
Pasta with red sauce.
I told them spaghetti
pasta with red sauce.
Yes, thank you.
Time.
Everyone in my live stream thought I was crazy for saying that.
Really?
Yes.
Oreos cannot be eaten plain either. Oreos, you have to have milk. I'm a big cereal guy. Like I eat not a crazy amount, but I eat a decent amount of cereal. My wife eats a lot of cereal. My kids eat a lot of cereal. But Unit likes his milk straight from the tap. Oh man. Yeah, he's like that old the band Moo Moo Milk version. That's Unit right there. Ray's throwing up all over his keyboard. This is hilarious. We looked at Ocean City. We looked at Wildwood. Sounds familiar. I was looking at a few different places, but we ended up just going. We're at Hard Rock in Atlantic City for when we're doing New Jersey. So yeah, I don't know. People still vacation to Atlantic City. You're gonna get shanked. I don't think so. I don't know. I looked up the area and places around it, and it seemed like it was rated as relatively family friendly. We're not going to be out trolling the streets at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., half hammered, like we might be if there was a Collecticon there. So I think we'll be fine. But yeah, I don't have ice cubes in my milk, but
yeah, Tom, you're a weirdo. You're a weirdo there.
But let me do a poll. We have polls, don't we? Where are they? Or do we not have polls? We don't have polls. I was gonna do a poll on did everyone not go to high school, at least in the US? Doesn't every high school across the US serve milk cartons with lunch?
I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine yeah, all throughout school for me.
Are you once you turn 18, graduate high school, you're just not allowed to drink a nice glass of milk with lunch anymore? I mean, come on. It's crazy. Java says they had milk there too. Maurice Pierre. This isn't even. I'm not even going to New Jersey this weekend. I shouldn't have even mentioned all that yet. I'm gonna need these recommendations closer to New Jersey. I think we'll be doing PokeFlipz. We'll be doing PokeFlipz on July 3rd. Oh, that one actually Ponga. Ponga's going to be our next special guest, I think. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think I talked about that before. But last year for New Jersey Collecticon, Ponga flew into Syracuse. I picked him up. He spent the night beforehand, and then I drove him down to Bierski's. Are you doing New Jersey or no?
I'm not. No.
It's funny. Cleveland is this weekend, and I can't stop talking about New Jersey, and chat can't stop talking about New Jersey. But I'm gonna make a brisket. And I'm going to bring it down to Bierski's house. And Bierski Palooza 2 is going to feature KetchumAllCollectibles brisket and pulled pork and whatever else.
Yeah, no. I was originally going to go, but then I decided I'm going to go home the weekend after instead. Go back to Massachusetts. My mom's birthday is the 18th. So I figured
Bierski wants to know what do we got to do to get you there. I mean, there's gonna be if KetchumAllCollectibles brisket doesn't get you there.
Off, no shot.
Take the whole week off, Nick. Live a little.
I'll definitely be in Charlotte.
Put Thrifty to the test. I mean, take a whole week off, both weekends on both sides of it, and put Thrifty through the ringer. See if she can handle it.
Well, no, because Thrifty will be in New Jersey.
Oh, she's going to that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm scrolling through all this milk chat. Thank you, Java, for the 5 gifted. I'm gonna try to get this back on I'm gonna try to get this thing back on track. Market isn't crashing until PK can pack everything in 20 minutes. His packing time is a barometer for the hobby's decline. Old Carton Shop wants to know, should I redistribute everything to Labubu?
Oh,
you take that one,
God.
Nick.
That is wild.
Yes, easily. Yes, for sure. Not financial advice, and it's not what I'm doing either. I'm just talking about it. There probably are YouTube channels out there telling you to invest in Labubu.
Oh, there 100% is.
I wish YouTube was a thing 30 years ago. I wish we had documented. A lot of the videos probably would have been pulled. A lot of the channels probably would have been deleted. I wish we had a Beanie Baby tube. I wish we could have seen the influencers that would have been pushing that as such a good investment. See all the tier lists. What Beanie Babies I'm buying in June of 2000. What ones are guaranteed to 10 extra money. And it would have been fascinating to have that like time capsuled.
That would have been really good. That would have been really good.
Going back to our former conversation a little bit, before the whole milk, before we devolved into milk conversation. So Julia says, I agree with Nick. We haven't even seen the art rare / cool cards yet. Why are people guessing it will collapse? This is where like saying like this, the terminology that's being used, like if I say it will be available under MSRP, calling that a collapse. Hey guys, I think that there's a chance that a brand new set being launched by Pokemon will be available at and under MSRP. For that to be called as a collapse is what scares me and blows my mind. It's like...
Well, take the terminology out of it.
That's the norm. That's the expectation. That's what's happened for 95+% of Pokemon sets. Aside for the first 6 months, base set, Jungle Fossil, when it was going bonkers, aside from a short bit of time around like some of these hype sets, most sets, aside from this last 7-month period, have been widely available at launch for not even like MSRP, for like 70% of MSRP, for 20, 30, 40% under MSRP. So I'm not guessing that Pokemon's going to collapse, crash, any of that stuff. I'm just forecasting that we will return to some semblance of normalcy, and most sets will be available at launch for a decent bit under MSRP. MSRP is stupid margins. Like that's not going to be a thing forever. Things aren't just going to be at or above MSRP forever, at least in my opinion.
I don't take the terminology out of it. Don't call it a crash. Say pricing's going to come down to 160. What I don't get. What I still don't get it. It still doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why people are so confident that that's going to happen.
Like I said, we were selling. Let me go back to the weekly chart. I know I don't have it on screen, but our single highest weekly pack sold, and it all depends on how you define the week. I think the way this captures is from, what was January 1st? January 1st was a Wednesday. So I think this runs from Wednesday to Tuesday. So week 1 was January 1st to January 7th. Week 2 is 8th to the 14th, and on and on and on. But our biggest week was 7,389 packs, and that was just a few weeks ago when Destined Rivals came out. But our last full week, was only 2,686 packs. That was our lowest since January. And in mid-May, before Destined came out, those were our next lowest weeks, sub 3,000. We were feeling a cooling, at least me on my stream, we were feeling a cooling at the end of May. Destined Rivals, flash in the pan, that kind of like saved it for a couple weeks, but we're back there. And it just feels like we're headed into a slower summer. Maybe it's because people are traveling, maybe because whatever, all this whole summer slowdown that people talk about. I'm not just making it up. eBay, I hate that eBay doesn't give the same data that they used to. They used to have that whole thing that you could search and you could see like in millions of dollars, you could search PSA Pokemon and you could see by month how many millions of dollars were being transacted. If eBay didn't take that away from us, I could try to throw some of that and PSA Pokemon would probably be doing well because what's going on with WotC and all that stuff right now, and some of the modern cards are going crazy again too. But I'm open to being wrong, but I have anecdotal data of my own streams that are showing downward trends, And I just think we're going to come back around. I think we're going to come back around, and maybe it won't be Black Bolt and White Flare, but I think Journey Together, I think the coming sets will be available under MSRP in the next 3 to 6 months.
That seems so quick to me. I'm not convinced on that. I don't know. We'll see.
Time will tell. We'll see what happens. We'll be here. We'll be here every other week to talk you all through it.
Yes.
Ray says, question for Nick: how can you thwart the eventual takeover of eBay Live from the Dream Team? That's a good question. Ray's probably rooting for it too after last.
I don't even know what does thwart mean. I don't even know what that means.
Thwart means like stop. How can you stop the eventual takeover?
Oh, it's already. It's not an issue.
After last podcast thumbnail, he's rooting for your eventual downfall. Like absolutely every day.
We got this.
So you don't have any strategy you're going. You're just like it's so obvious that I won't go down. You're not even worried about it. Not even on the radar.
No. I was no. We're good.
Into the next question. Appreciate you, Jay. Any chance we could see a reprint volume similar to Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, but for this era, they did it before. They could totally do it now. I think they could, but I don't think they will. I think they remember what Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze did. I think they recall having them. Like, Pokemon doesn't really want to print things and have them stay in stock in their warehouses for 5 years. Pokemon didn't like having Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze for 3, 4, 5 years, however long it was exactly, on Pokemon Center. They like to move through things a bit quicker than that, I'm sure. So multiple reasons. I think Pokemon doesn't want to do that. They do want to get them under MSRP, but they don't want to overshoot so drastically that they're $99 for like years. And then a lot of people will make this argument, and I agree to an extent. Destined Rivals and Journey Together, they're better than Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage. But that doesn't mean sets 2, 3, 4 years from now won't be as much better. Like the difference between Darkness and Vivid and Journey and Destined, we might see. Say Vivid and Darkness are here, and Destined and Journey are here. I imagine 3, 4 years from now, those new sets will be here, relative to artwork, relative to set composition, relative to whatever. If they throw serials in there, if they throw serialization in there, it would be like shift the whole scale down, and then they're up here, and everything else is down through the ground. But yeah, so they could. I don't think it will be that bad, but I think they'll go under MSRP, but not under 100. Is my take. What's your take on this question?
I agree. I think they learned from that whole massive reprint block in Sword and Shield, and they don't want something like that drastic to happen. So I don't think we'll see something like that happen unless we start getting these reprints and demand falls off at the same time. Then which is
what happened last time, and that's the thing that like people in the thick of it, in the boom. I can't imagine everyone not falling over themselves to get Pokemon, because that's what's happening right now. People in a boom can never imagine not being in a boom. Demand is so fickle, it can change very quickly. And 3-6 months from now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but like Journey could be under 100 if some major reprint comes. Destined could be 100, 110, 120 a box. The fact that people think it's impossible is scary and mind-blowing. Look at Pokemon's history again. Look at how long we've been around here. And I know live streaming, and I know this, and I know that. But demand is so fickle. And that's not even talking about, hopefully this is not the case if some World War III type scenario goes on, if some kind of like crazy political thing goes on that plunges us into some recession or depression, like compounded on fickle demand and massive layoffs. Like, I'm not hoping this happens. I don't want this to happen. I don't think it will happen, but it could, and things could get dark for a long time. And the fact that people entirely discount that they guarantee that won't happen, it's just scary. It's scary. I was scared when people were doing it with Vivid Voltage, and I posted a clip in my recent video of me, you, and James talking about Vivid Voltage at 200. And you and I talked about how it's funny, the timing, because I literally, my distro, and I don't know if you got this or not, my distro just called me. I'm getting 12 boxes of Destined Rivals at $139 a box. Are you getting any or no?
I didn't hear anything about that, no.
So I'm getting 12 boxes of Destined Rivals at $139 a box. What do you think I'm doing with those boxes?
Selling them?
Instantly. So I'm sending them to PK. I'm sending them to Ponga. I'm sending them to Probes, whatever. Like, I'm going to sell them. I'm going to, and I know I'm buying them. I'm buying boxes right now for like $210 a box because I need them for the live streams. That's one different thing from Vivid Voltage years ago. But I don't want it at that price. I think it's going to come down $100 a box. I think not $200 a box. I think it's going to come down from $250, $260 to $150, $160 at minimum, I think. And again, I wouldn't characterize that as a crash. I wouldn't say that the PlayStation 5 crashes from 1,000 to 500. I think it becomes available at its intended MSRP. Like that. That's how not artificially, but like a short-term supply shortage is there because it's not yet fully rolled out its production. That's what happens at the time of every new game release. And I'm saying the same things I've said over and over the last few episodes, but I am holding a little bit. I have 4 on the pallet. If I'm wrong, if Destin never goes down under 200, I'll have 4 cases, I guess. I could have had 50. I could have had 100, but like, I'm just not doing that. I'm not comfortable with that. My video Monday, I actually recorded it last night. I did a tier list of like Sword, Shield, and Scarlet Violet era sets, and I ranked them by like investment potential relative to today's pricing. When you think of a tier list video, and you think of like it's good, it's something that's good, like top Pokemon investments for July of 2025. I did a tier list video. I would never do like normally. Video I've never done in the past. How many minutes long to be like algorithm friendly would you say a tier list video should be?
I'd say 10, 15.
How many minutes do you think a KetchumAllCollectibles
yours is like
video?
Yours is like a 2.5-hour video.
Okay, not quite that.
No, I think yours is. I'm gonna say yours is 35 minutes.
It was 50 minutes.
Oh my god!
The nuance and the data and the talk versus walk, like all that stuff is coming to you Monday. So stay tuned. I'll be in Canada. My video will be hitting.
Just scroll to the end of the video to see Dan's final tier list.
You can time travel in the comments. You can go to the end. You can. I actually did it. I created like an account so people can go and do the tier list. They can do their own version. I've done tier lists before, but I've never like made an account to generate one. I was surprised.
You probably explained that about for a solid 5 minutes how people can go here, do their own.
That's the thing. Like it took me the normal YouTube time. It took me to lay out all the stuff and like to set the stage for my tier list was 10 minutes that it should have taken to do the whole thing. But yeah. Dan says we need to explicitly define the word crash before Dan explodes. Oh man.
Truly antiviral.
Absolutely. Yes. It is just my nature. It is the way that I am. But yeah, Jay, where did the comment go? Jay actually mentioned that he normally lurks, but the milk conversation brought him out. So we got an active Jay in chat because of our milk conversation. So you're welcome.
Come on in, Jay.
Yeah. Where are we at now? Julia says, I agree. We'll definitely have a strong correction, but I'm not sure if it'll happen before the 30th. We'll see. That we will. And there will be PokeFlipz episodes to carry us up to it, through it, and beyond it. Certainly. There was another. Oh, Jay said, I saw a video recently where apparently correction was a negative term. I thought having a reasonable market without the excessive hype was a positive thing. One thing that I think gets lost on people to some extent is like underlying consumer demand is necessary. I think a lot of these investors, and I'm saying that as one of these investors, a lot of these investors don't appreciate the fact that you do need packs being ripped on live streams. You do need cards going into binders. You need cards going into decks and people playing the game. If you take it to an extreme example, say that Destin never goes down, Journey never goes under 200, say that Black Bolt, White Flare go out over MSRP, never go under it. Say the next 2 years through the 30th, truly nothing ever goes under MSRP. Say the bull case happens. You will actually lose and price out a lot of consumers. Some, like the whole think of the children thing on a long enough timeline is actually valid. The reason that I and many of us give it so much pushback is like every other time it's come back around within 6 months. Within 6 months of that Frosted Caribou video, Vivid Voltage was again $99 and everything was fine and everyone was gone that was crying about it. But if things stayed sustained above 200, above 300 of every set forever, you not guaranteed, but you run the risk of pricing a lot of people out. I know if Retro's listening, he says that he doesn't listen to Pokemon content, but then I see his comments around and he calls himself out on that. So if Retro's listening, he's going to say, oh, Dan's saying nobody will spend $200. Nobody will spend $300. Meanwhile, they're spending $800 in Magic, $1,000, $2,000, whatever that Final Fantasy stuff is. Sports doing all these things. But truly, this is my opinion. This is not a statement of fact. If Pokemon spent a multi-year period where truly nothing was widely available under MSRP, I think it would do damage to the hobby overall. I think it would do damage to the large amounts of attrition we're currently seeing. I think instead of having weeks where we rip 6,000, 7,000 packs, which is good for investors. When my operation rips 7,000 packs, investors benefit the most, realistically. And if we go through a multi-year period where we're struggling to rip 2,000, 2,500 packs, and a lot of live stream operations are folding up because nobody's ripping the product. If everyone's truly investing, that is a dark, dark time. And a lot of people, like, I think they're entirely off base when they say this because tons of packs are being ripped and stuff currently. But a lot of people will say, like, everyone's investing, no one's opening anything, and it's just investors trading to other investors. That's why Evolving Skies is $2,000. That's why Team Up is $6,000. If and when that actually becomes true, that would be dark days for everyone, and eventually things would crash in a spectacular way. I hope we never get there. I truly hope, for like the hobby's sake, for everyone's sake, investors, collectors, speculators, scalpers, whoever, I hope things come back around to where they get widely available under MSRP again, because I truly think it's necessary. And if it doesn't happen for years and years, if it doesn't happen ever again, I think that will, over the next 5-10 year span, I think the hobby will be smaller because of it. And I think it will be worse for everybody, even though people can't like wrap their minds around that. I truly believe in that. What are your thoughts on that big long rant session?
I think that makes sense. I would agree with you on that one. Yeah, I don't think the whole narrative of people just buying this stuff to invest in, I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think most people understand that a ton of this is being opened on live streaming, at conventions, wherever. Whereas before, people definitely did think that everyone was just buying it, putting it in the closet, and forgetting about it.
And I can't share specifics, but like as far as names and stuff, I know credible people, credible sources. I've not been in the warehouse, I've not seen it, and I'm not gonna say there's air hangers full of Base Set Unlimited, there's air hangers full of Team Up, but like I do know of people with hundreds of Sword Shield cases, like hundreds, 100 of most sets. And you got your Rudy out there who's public. There are people who are not public. Not quite to that level, but not horrifically far off. And when you start talking about pallets, it's like, okay, a pallet is we in a week where we what is a pallet again? 600 boxes is like 12,000 packs. In a good week, in a good 2 week span, we rip through a pallet of product, a pallet of booster product. So to keep everything like
how much Sword and Shield are you ripping a week? or like Sun and Moon.
Like Crown Zenith is a top 5 set. I know it's a specialty set, but Sun and Moon things like that. Sun and Moon almost none. But like Fusion Strike, we've done 4,500 packs this year of Fusion Strike. That is if we continue that pace, that will be 9,000 packs of Fusion Strike in a year. That's nearly a pallet of Fusion Strike. That's nearly like a pallet is 500 or 600 boxes. I forget how many. But say a pallet was 600 boxes, 600 cases, that's 21,600 packs.
Yeah, I don't like that
like half of a pallet. We'd be at like half of a pallet.
Because it's going to drastically slow down when you go to sell it. Yes, you have Crown Zenith, and I've been killing it with Pokemon Go. But you have those sets. But for the most part, as when the pricing gets more expensive, people aren't ripping as much of it. Usually, you'll have those few odd times where someone comes in and wants to rip a ton of something. But for the most part, people are ripping Scarlet and Violet right now.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I think this happened last time before StreamYard broke entirely. Or no, never mind. I just scrolled down. I was gonna say I think StreamYard is not showing me the latest comments, but I just scrolled down and they came in. But anyways, one thing I wanted to say too, like I know of some people with very deep positions, like multi 7-figure positions in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, like 151. I know I'm buying it right now at $9. I was buying it last week at $9 a pack. This week I'm paying $9.25 a pack, and I didn't get a whole lot. I got a decent amount at $9 a pack because I think target drops were happening, and I think people were getting hits on those, and they were just scalping them to me, which like scalp me every day. Like I need the pack, so I don't care. As long as you're not stealing them, as long as you're buying them. But I've talked to people, some who I'm buying from, where they sold me a few thousand packs, and they sold their other 10,000 packs that they got from that drop to an individual who was paying $9.50 or $10 a pack. I know that there were open bids out there from certain individuals, I don't know if they were individuals or groups or whatever. There are people buying like a big buy order, 10,000, 20,000, 151 packs at $9.50 a pop. There are people, and they're not rippers, and they're not like, they're just putting them on a pallet. They're setting them back. They're waiting for that, I think, inevitable time where it goes out of print. Is that a month from now? Is that a year from now? We don't know when. I think the packs will just inevitably gap up to like $15 a pack at some point, and 16, 18, $20 a pack. But there are hundreds of thousands or millions of 151 packs that are just being set back, set aside for when they gap up, and then they'll be sold. And if and when too much of that starts happening across the board with every set, and we truly get to a point where none's being ripped and all of it's being invested in, and everyone finds out all at once together, that's not going to happen in that way, I don't think, whatsoever. But if it did, it would be brutal. Well, you know how brutal it would be? Go to the Wayback Machine, go to Hills Wholesale Gaming, and go to 2004. Go to 2004 and look at what Base Set Unlimited, Fossil, Jungle boxes were selling for. $40 a box. We're not going to get there again. I'm extremely confident in that. But like that's how it could end. That's how it has ended in the past.
Yeah. No, I agree. What else? Did you see Blooming Waters is coming back to Costco?
Is it?
Or it is, or it has. Within the week, I've seen some. I saw an Instagram post earlier this week, and then I saw some people on Facebook saying they were able to get it on Costco.
I guess I'll be buying it.
I don't know. I think we are getting. I think we are getting close to the end of 151.
Yeah, I want to have a few thousand more packs. I said this in my video that's coming Monday, but like I've added on net, I've bought 3,000 or 4,000 more 151 in the past 4 weeks than we've sold. So my position has gone up by that much. If and when 151 does go down to 8,765, some crazy low number, I will double down. I will buy a lot more. I think a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that with no intent or ability to actually do that. They'll get scared, they'll crap their pants, and they'll dump everything for a loss. That happened a lot in 2021. But 151, I'm actually ready, like I did with Crown Zenith back in January when I thought it wouldn't double in a year, and then it doubled in 2 months. I accumulated a position of over like 10, 15,000, somewhere in there, almost 15,000 packs of Crown Zenith when I was buying them for like $4. So if and when 151 ever got there again, I definitely would acquire 10, 15, 20,000 packs. I don't think it will though. I'll probably more likely acquire 5 to 10,000 packs at about $9 a pack if I had to guess. Maybe it'll dip down. Maybe I'll be able to get it at 8 or 750, or we'll see. But I'll be ready. Here's a good one from a while ago. Then I'm mostly caught up to live. Pokebondo asked, if you could guess the single most impactful moment over the past few months, what would you attribute to this madness? TCG Pocket, Rip and Ship expanding, prismatic release, social media, etc. What do you think?
Ooh.
What's causing the boom?
That's a good question. It started back in October. Took off with surging. Then we got prismatic. Honestly, I think social media is the biggest part of it. I think that's a massive part of it. People watching videos, YouTubers hyping stuff up, people posting about record sales happening, creating FOMO. People see pricing go up. They want to get a card before pricing continues to go up. So it just continues the whole trend. So I would say the whole social media aspect for sure.
I think the answer is obviously it's a little bit of everything. Which one is the single most impactful though? That's tough. I'm biased because I'm in it, but I think Rip and Ship is massive towards it. I think the pack destruction of Rip and Ship is often underappreciated. I think it's often underestimated exactly how many packs are being ripped. I can only speak for my operation, but again, year to date, I didn't say the year to date number. Year to date, we just crossed 100,000 packs evaporated. So that's one little operation on a relatively small platform. Fanatics Live is not Whatnot. Whatnot is evaporating a lot more packs, and I'm one of several on Fanatics. If I'm 100,000, I might be. We might be the single biggest. We might be the single biggest operation on Fanatics as far as number of Pokemon packs ripped. We're definitely not when you go to Whatnot. We're eBay Live. I don't know if there's anyone over there that's ripping as many packs as we are, but that's a lot of packs. If you put all of us together with all the other Fanatics Lives, all the other eBay Lives, like it's got to be. We're not a tenth of the ripping market on those two small platforms. Over 1 million have been ripped just on those platforms, and that's not counting personal consumption. That's not counting the YouTube operations. Nostalgianomics. Alex is ripping a lot of packs on YouTube. Those aren't showing up in any transactions anywhere. TCG Player. Some of those are being bought to just stock stores or whatever, bought to resell. A lot of those are just being bought by private individuals, not ripping in front of a camera. There's a lot of, and I think undocumented rips dwarf documented rips. I'd be interested. Like, what % of packs ripped are ripped on camera versus off camera? On camera in all means, a Rip and Ship platform or in a YouTube live stream like Cool Trainer Ryan chasing Aerodactyl or PokeRev chasing something, or somebody chasing a master set, Danny Phantom putting together a master set. That's an interesting question. I'll pose it to you and I'll pose it to chat. So what % of packs overall, let's say English packs, what % of English packs are ripped on camera versus off camera? And Instagram reel counts, TikTok count, like any video recording of that pack. What % are on camera? What % are off camera? I think that's a very interesting question.
I think it's more on camera than off camera.
I think it's more off camera.
I think
all the Walmart purchases, all the LGS purchases, people just ripping in the comfort of their own home. Like, I think we are so into this. We're so online. We're so like ingrained and ingrading. We take a lot of stuff for granted. how like deep in we are. I think like 30% are ripped on camera.
No, Shaw. I don't.
That's my guess.
Like mass openings at home, or is it like you have people ripping a 50, 100 packs on a stream?
If you take it technically too, if an LGS rips 10,000 packs.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone coming into your stream and buying 50, 100 packs to rip. Are they doing that at home too?
People do
or
that.
Or is it kids opening onesie twosies?
We've had PokePlumber on before, and the amount of product that man is responsible for destroying single-handedly, him and his family.
He's a wild man. He doesn't.
And lately, he'll do an Instagram reel of some of it. He'll do a little bit more of it on camera. But that man is evaporating like feels like cases by the day. He's a man on a mission. But I truly think it would be like not just more, but like if it's 30% on camera, that means it's 70% off camera. That's almost 2.5 times what would be on camera. That's my estimate.
I don't know.
Is your estimate like, are you inverted? Are you like 70% on camera, 30% off?
No, I'm closer. I like Java's answer: 60 on, 40 off.
And that's where like I know we've had this conversation before. I think we've so Alex PokeCR is saying maybe even like 5% on camera. I think that's low.
Can't see that.
But I don't really know. Like this is another question that I think we've asked. We've probably asked it in the past couple of years on PokeFlipz. So Moonbryon has a population of what, 15,000 PSA 10s or whatever, 25, 30,000 graded maybe between all the companies. What percent of Moonbryons printed in total, sealed, raw? What percent of Moonbryons are represented in a pop report? So like 30,000 approximately are graded in total.
50.
Some people, I've heard people speculate
like 25%.
And that's accounting for sealed too. Like what percent do you think are still sealed? Haven't even been opened yet. Maybe never will be opened. I think it's 10%. I think it's 10 to 20% tops have been graded. Because I think 20, 30, 40% might not be even opened yet. And then like it could be 40% raw out there, 40% sealed, 20% graded or something like that. And I lean a lot more towards 10% graded, but I've heard people have conversations. I remember when the pop hit 10,000 on Umbreon, I heard people speculating that was 60% of every Umbreon printed. And it's like, you guys are insane. You guys don't know anything about anything. Clearly, where the pop is today, like as many Umbreons as they thought existed have already been graded. And I have 2 sealed cases of Evolving Skies. I know people with like thousands of packs and a dozen cases or whatever. Like clearly there's a lot of Moonbryons still sealed. Sometimes when people do these estimations, it just shows. When I hear somebody say like, oh, I think 60% of all Moonbryons are graded, I know to take everything else they say with a lot less seriousness because it tells me that you don't have an effing clue what you're talking about. I
wish I said 60%.
I need to make like a burner YouTube account and just go to like some of these, go down the YouTube rabbit hole, Pokemon investing, all these cosplay investors. I need to ask them like, how many of these things do you think are out there? I need to like get like, and I need to get like some actual responses from people, the kind of people who were guaranteeing Vivid Voltage was going to stay over 200 4 years ago. It's crazy the confidence with which people will say these things and just demonstrably have no clue what they're talking about. It's scary.
It is.
Julia has 4 raw Moonbryons and 0 graded. Look at that.
Ooh.
But if you're watching this, you engage so much deeper with Pokemon cards digitally. So you are very skewed by your own experiences. You're very skewed by the way that you engage. And we just need to like realize that there's a lot of other things going on in the hobby that we're not involved in, that we're not like directly privy to or whatever. And yeah, I think it's really interesting to take yourself outside of your bubble and try to see the whole market, try to see everything that's going on there. But we'll never know. it's a fun thought experiment, but we'll truly never know. There's no way of knowing. Like somewhere, someone at Pokemon could tell you how many Evolving Skies booster boxes they ordered. They could tell you how many packs of Evolving Skies they ordered, how many packs were printed in total, how many went into ETBs, booster boxes, all that stuff. That would be fascinating data to get a hold of. I don't think we ever will. Good. But even if we got that, one thing that no one could ever know, will ever know, how many were ripped and how many are still sealed. Were 2 million booster boxes printed and packaged and sold? Okay, that's the number. Like now we know, say it was 2 million hypothetically. Are there 200,000 left? Are there 1 million left? Are there 20,000 left? Like it's fascinating to think through. We don't know. But it's fun to pontificate about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we'll never know the actual answer to that.
No. Julia wants to know, what do we think of the new Pokemon Center Pikachu boxes?
Ooh, I love those. I can't wait for those to come out.
They're the ones that are like $20 retail, and they're going for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. You get the 3 different ones.
Are you buying any or no?
Yes, for 100%. Buy, grade, have them for the lives, auction them in the lives.
I actually just ordered. I've avoided thus far buying any of the Chinese gem stuff or whatever, but I just ordered several sets of the evolutions from Gem Pack 2. So I know I'm late to that. They've been around for a while, but I'm like, I've got the CGC Fanatics thing going. I'm just going to throw them into that. Maybe I'll look them over quick. Maybe if there's some non-gradable ones, I'll chuck some at PK and Ponga. But our auctions don't do well. I feel like I'll get destroyed on trying to auction a Chinese evolution on Fanatics Live.
Let me know when you want to run them. I'll hop in.
Yeah, you'll come be able to scoop them for $10 a pop. When I paid a lot more than that. But
do you guys do the Gem 2 boxes?
I haven't yet. I might buy some for it. Do they do well for you?
They do well. They're actually a lot of fun to open. They are a lot of fun for people to open. They do well.
Jay, my rant earlier. Jay says, I would agree with that take. Thanks, Dan. I don't think wanting an under MSRP booster box of recent sets doesn't make one a Timmy. I think it's just healthy for the market as a whole. And me personally, like as a consumer, I don't value it enough. And people need to like, I agree. Like I want things to get available under MSRP, but we can't force them to. You can't force other people to stop paying the inflated prices. And when people like fall on the ground, kicking and screaming, complaining about it, making themselves a victim out of it, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't help anything. It just makes them look like a fool. I think there's a lot of fools out in the world today that think that they are entitled to these things at certain prices that they're willing to pay. But like historically speaking, MSRP is not a good price. As a consumer in this market, I open some packs for consumption with my family. We just don't consume hardly at all when packs are this high. And if we miss a 2-year span where we don't open a bunch of sets, if we want to go back and we want to buy some singles, we'll do that. And it's like, it just is what it is. Buy or BUY or BYE. And I'm just kind of BYE until prices come down. And if they never come down, I am like indicative of what I was ranting about earlier. I am consuming less of it, not substantially less, because I only used to, my family and I used to split a box, and now we're splitting like an ETB or a couple ETBs or something. It's not like it's drastic, but if hundreds of thousands of people start doing that to some scale, opening 10, 20, 30 less packs of every set, like that adds up. That adds up. And I truly think
you're by far the exception than the norm. You're already Mr. I don't know what the word is, but doom and gloom over there with having a collection and enjoying Pokemon. No, people actually enjoy this stuff.
But very anecdotal. But like I probably talked about it on stream a couple times. I had friends a couple of months ago that were all gung ho, when they got back in, they got in a good time. I sold them $5 Crown Zenith packs when market was like $5.50 or $5.60 or whatever. I sold them $5 a pack, and they were engaging with it a lot. And then they were excited to see Prismatic Evolutions coming, and they couldn't find it. And they asked me how much, and I said $15 a pack, $12 a pack, whatever it was at the time. And they're like, "That's a lot of money." And you know where they are now? You know what their level of engagement with the hobby is right now? Anecdotes, but like 100% of people I went to high school with, that I was talking with, that were excited and engaged with the hobby in November, December, January, February, are again out of the hobby. They are the ones that, and again, Nick, you and I have been in this over a decade. We're here forever. We're here for good. We're stuck. When Rudy says something like most people leave within 6 months, we can't wrap our minds around it. Because, Nick, you've been here forever, and I've been here with you, side by side. We've been here. And Zach Gemmin's been here forever, and Rusty's been here forever, and SM Pratt's been here for, like, a lot of the people we engage with, a lot of the people we know that we've known, all the people we go to conventions with, most of them. Survivorship bias to an extent. There are people that went to Swami's that aren't engaging it to the level that they were back then.
Yeah.
There are people that have fallen. You just don't think about it as much because of survivorship bias. So, like, very anecdotal, but 100% of the people in my personal life that were engaging in it heavily several months ago are done. And if this continues for 2 more years, a lot more people will have those same anecdotes, in my estimation. So we'll just see what happens. I don't think Pokemon will allow that to happen. I think Pokemon wants them to be, they don't want $100 boxes, certainly. They don't want nothing selling, but they don't want $200 boxes either. Of brand new sets. They don't want that. They genuinely want people to get the products.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely.
But it's an interesting conversation. We did that one. Hey, Dan, and how's your Labubu position? I still own 0. I don't intend to change that number anytime soon. I feel like I'm seeing them trickle in more and more into like my non-Pokemon spaces too. They've assaulted my Pokemon Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. But I watch like RuneScape content on YouTube. And one of the channels that I watch, it's called Behemoth. They just do like highlights. They go around Twitch, they go around Kick, YouTube, and they compile like a 10-minute video every day of all the highlights from around old school RuneScape content. The guy has a Labubu keychain to his microphone in the Behemoth videos now. So it's entering spaces. I actually asked my wife if she had heard about them yet, and she had heard about them, but not like seen them as much. I'll be interested to hear how that develops, if that develops over time. But school just ended today. So
I was going to say it'd be interesting if they started showing up in the schools.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we won't know. Maybe it'll still be going strong in September. Maybe she'll see students with them next year, or maybe it'll be entirely dead by then. Who knows?
It's wild. People are like, there's shops popping up that just sell Labubus. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's nuts. Here's a good one. Obi-Wan Kenobi wants to know, is it wild to think every SV era booster box will be 1,000 or more in 10 years? Keep in mind inflation and the bad sets go to 1,000 in 10 years. Here we go, Nick. What do you think?
10 years.
Let me frame it. Primal Clash, Double Crisis, Roaring Skies, Ancient Origins. Those sets are on both sides of 10 years old. Primal Clash is a little bit over 10 years old, and Ancient Origins is a little bit under 10 years old. So there's your frame of reference.
The thing that's getting me is every. If you said most, then yes. But every is what's getting me.
I don't think every Sword Shield box will be $1,000 in 10 years. Maybe they will. They probably will.
Sword and Shield, I would say yes. Scarlet and Violet. Every Scarlet.
What is Rebel Clash right now? It's higher than I think.
What was that?
I was going to question, what price is Rebel Clash? I was thinking Rebel Clash was still under 300.
Expensive. Sword and Shield base and Rebel Clash are expensive.
It's over 300 now. Yeah, it's almost 400 now. Looks like. Yeah, so it's higher than I thought it was. As I said that. But for me, and I'll give context to this too. For me, I think it's pretty easy to say that it is wild to think they will be. I think there are sets that won't be. I'm going to be called a bear. I'm going to be called all these different kinds of things. I have pallets of Scarlet Violet that I hope are over $1,000 in 10 years. But I don't think they will be. And it's going to be interesting, the reason why. And I'm going to push back on my own argument. Because I think it won't be, because Scarlet Violet was printed heavier than Sword Shield, which was printed heavier than Sun and Moon, which was printed heavier than XY. But back in XY, to be fair, I was there when Primal Clash was new. I was there when Phantom Forces was new. And I would have said then, Dan, do you think these sets will be $1,000 in 10 years? I would have said no. They're being printed too much. They're being printed more than Black and White. They're being printed more than Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. They're being printed more than EX Era. And at that time, a lot of those sets were not $1,000. A lot of 10-year-old sets when I got back into the hobby. Let me scroll back. Let me scroll back to 2005. EX Deoxys, EX Emerald, EX Unseen Forces, EX Delta Species. When I got back in the hobby in 2014, 2015, I bought every single box. I have a pretty good concept of what every box was priced at when I got back into the hobby because I bought one of every one and I opened them. What do you think I paid for EX Deoxys?
Oh, I paid God, not much.
I paid like $700. And I
was going to say 7,000.
I did not pay $1,000 for any EX Era booster box. The only boxes I paid over $1,000 for were Skyridge, Legendary Collection, Neo Destiny. I think that's it. I have a spreadsheet that shows what they all were. But so to be fair, 10 years ago, if you had asked me, I would have been dead wrong. If you had asked me 5 years ago on what future booster box prices would have been, I would have been dead wrong. So I'm providing you context that like I've been wrong every time. Every time I've guessed the 10-year, 5-year price trajectory of booster boxes, I've been wrong, but I think they won't be $1,000 in 10 years. So am I wrong again, or am I right for the first time? That's the question. I'm probably wrong again, honestly. But if I'm wrong again, this time I will be very financially rewarded because this time I have pallets. Last time I didn't have pallets. I had cases or I had boxes. And I sold those way too soon. If 2030, if the pallets are worth $500,000 each, some obscene number, I'm not going to sell them all, but I'm going to sell a decent bit of them. I'm probably going to reconfigure the 3 pallets into 1. I'll probably sell 2/3 of each pallet and make them into 1 pallet of like 1/3 of each that was on it. And I'll let them cook for another 5 years and I'll see what happens. So I intend to have every Scarlet Violet Era booster box in some quantity in 10 years. So, man, I hope they're $1,000 each. But I don't think they will be, truly. A 5X in 10 years is bonkers.
I can see most of them. There's like Paradox, Obsidian, Stellar, Journey. Those ones are what's holding me up.
That's a 17.5% compound annual growth rate. That's with me starting at 200 because most of them are, well, all of them are 200. SV base is 200. So it requires a 17.5% compound annual growth rate to 5X in 10 years. It definitely could. I'm not saying it's impossible by any stretch of the imagination. It definitely could. If the hobby is 2-3 times bigger than it is today, it will become almost a certainty, in my opinion. Like it will, if they're printing 25 billion cards a year in 10 years from now, it will almost certainly be the case. But will they actually be? I don't know. Maybe I'm too cautious because I have a lot riding on this and I'm just trying to stay realistic. I'm trying to stay like almost slightly pessimistic to like push myself to be safer. But it's a very good question. Like, but this is going back. All Man thinks that 80% of packs, I should have got this when we were talking about it actively, 80% of packs being opened on camera. That to me is like,
that's a lot. I don't know.
That is asinine. That is asinine, I think. Like, that is so horrifically far off, in my opinion. 4-1 for every 4 cards being opened on stream, only 1 is being opened off stream. I think that's insane.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you on that one.
I will go 10% before I'll go 80%.
10%? No, that's way too low.
I agree 10% is way too low, but 80% is way too higher to more of an extent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
If we're playing like closest to the actual answer, I think 10%, because I think the answer is like 30%. So 10% is a fair bit closer. And Java said 60 on, 40 off. I think that's way too high still.
I like Java's answer.
People can't buy packs in stores right now, but every time that Target drops and people scalp their packs to me, some non-monster people, some non-scalper evil monsters get a hold of them as well. Some people buy, like when you're botting out like a monster, an evil capitalist scalping monster, when you're scalping me those packs to sell to live stream buyers, some random people are buying them, getting them, and giving them to a kid for their birthday party. And some of those are just being consumed in that fashion. They're not on the shelves, but some end consumers are buying and ripping that product that's getting dropped. And you're in Poke Notify, and you've got 57 Discord notifications every time something gets dropped anywhere around the world. But interesting question. You've got answers all the way from 10% to 80%. You've got like a wide range of people that are pretty ingrained in the hobby, and we have no effing clue what percent to attribute to it. So it's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people rip and buy at home. A lot of people who go to their LGS and they pay those scalper prices. A lot of people complain about them, but a lot of people just go and they buy them too. I think a lot of people are underestimating just the casual go to the LGS, play in the league, rip a couple packs, rip your prize support that you got for entering the league.
That's exactly it. Rip a couple packs. I think the quantity
hundreds of thousands of people
on the stream makes up for the amount of people who are ripping a couple packs.
But then you've got the Poke Plumbers. Nick, if you're out there, Poke Plumber.
I just don't know how many Poke Plumbers exist. How many Poke Plumbers are there?
Nick, not you, Nick. Poke Plumber Nick, if you're listening. I don't think he consumes a lot of Pokemon content. Sometimes he pops in though and says hi. If you're out there, Poke Plumber, how many packs have you ripped as a consumer in the past week? Is it more or less than 1,000? I'm telling you. Sometimes he'll post an Instagram story of like he didn't do a live thing. He didn't record the whole thing of the aftermath, and it looks like an old school Pokemon 5 a.m. stream. It's like, oh my god, this guy is nuts. in a good way.
In a good way.
Let's see. Radar says I own one folded Moonbryon signed by TCA Gaming. What's the story behind that?
Was that at Charlotte? He opened and it had. Was that the one? He opened it and it had like the.
It's got the like a printer roller marker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Charlotte a couple years ago, Rusty was passing around those hot packs that came out of the Charizard UPCs. I pulled like a couple rainbows. I think like 3 or 4 Rayquaza Altars got pulled. 4 or 5 Moonbryons got pulled. That was bonkers.
That was wild. I got a nice little rainbow Garbodor.
Yeah. Mine are somewhere. I have like 5 or 10 different of those like shoebox storage things for slabs. I have like 5 or 10 of those kicking around my office at any one time, with like slabs and cards and things that are like PC to be sorted later, to be sorted at a later date. I need to do that at some point. Sit down with my kids on a rainy summer day and go through all that stuff. Pokebondo anecdotally sharing they've scaled down buying and ripping considerably lately with where everything is. Zorner Card says just guesstimate how many Catch 'em All level streams there are and then compare that to total packs. There's no way it's majority on streams. So we could do some quick napkin math. They printed last year let's say 10 billion cards to round it down and make it even. If it all goes into packs, that's 1 billion packs. I know that there's energy cards. I know that there's code cards. I truly think that they don't count energy cards. Every time that someone says that, if you open up a pack of like 151, it says right on it 11. Let me double check. I have some.
No, it says 10, but you get 11.
So it says 10 additional game cards. We're going to do a live opening right now. Look at this.
Oh, let's get a god pack.
This is one of the. This is one of the 10% or 90% of packs that get opened downstream. I don't know which. we got a green shiz, Drowsy, Bulbasaur, Dratini, Raticate, Erica. I'm spoiling something.
You got something.
Reverse Hollow Pikachu.
It's gonna be a golem.
But I didn't count him as I went. I need to pick him back up and count him now.
Oh, we gotta open another pack.
Let's just do another one. Let's just do another one. We gotta go home. I gotta count him as I go. I forgot what I was doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Ooh.
10. So 10 plus the energy, plus a free code card for somebody. So are they might count them though, to be fair. When they do an order to Millennium Print Group, which they own, when they do an order to them, they might just count, we did this many tens of millions, hundreds of millions of sheets, multiply it out. They might count code cards and energy cards. They might not. We don't know. But one thing we do know for certain, we know 100% fact, when it says 10 additional game cards, we know that they do not count the code card and the energy card. I'm getting a call really quickly I have to take.
Okay.
Can you entertain stream for a second?
We'll just sit here in silence. No, what were we even talking about? Guesstimate how many Catch 'em all level streamers there are. So yeah, you've got Dan on Fanatics. I would say you've got Nostalgianomics, and then there's another person I know on YouTube that I would say are similar levels to Dan. eBay, there's not much. You've got me, Weedle, Chef. I say if you combine all three of us, you got another Dan right there. And then Whatnot, I think is just full of massive operations that like dwarf what Dan does. You've got like right off the top of my head, you have Kraken, you have Vortex. That's 2 right there. And then I'm not on Whatnot, so I don't know the other ones, but I think you have a lot of people streaming, ripping packs. Royalty Gaming, that's the other one on YouTube. So yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. And then just all the people, it's not much, but all the people who do daily shorts of pack rips on YouTube. If you combine all those people together, it's a couple thousand packs every year. Talking big streamers.
But running through the napkin math, we've opened 100,000 packs year to date. There have been, if they print as many as they did last year, they will print approximately 10 billion cards, which will be approximately 1 billion packs. So we've ripped 100,000. Say we'll rip 200,000 packs out of the 1 billion packs they print. That's 0.0002. So that's you would need 5,000 of me. Well, I guess man, big numbers are hard. You would need 5,000 of me to consume all of the print run, which is really crazy when you phrase it that way. I think you would only need 5,000 of me to consume all of the print run. I think it's the proper way to say it.
5,000 of you. Ugh, could you
to consume that? That's the entire that's the entire print run for all of planet Earth, though. That's all languages.
That seems like a lot.
It is a lot, but like That's the thing. Two people can hear one number and take it very differently.
But then also you got to. The thing is, okay, so you have the 10 million cards. First question: do they count energies or don't they count energies? Second question: what percentage of cards go into packs versus the battle decks and all the stupid stuff? Because there's not every single card is going into packs. There's got to be a sizable position of cards that go into all that auxiliary stuff.
And said another way, because again, big numbers are hard. You'd need 5,000 of me to consume all of Pokemon's print run. You'd only need 50 of me to consume 1% of Pokemon's print run. Mm-hmm. Like there are significantly more than 50 of me. So that means like Rip and Ships are chewing up a very measurable percentage. Like to me, when I hear that we've ripped 0.02% of what Pokemon is printed, that's like mind blowing to the high side. That's like that feels like obscenely crazy that it would even be that measurable. Much? That we would rip that much of what they print.
That doesn't seem like anything. 0.02.
But it's a worldwide. It's a massive thing, and we're I don't know. It feels to me that like when I was buying 1% of Metazu's print run, that didn't feel that absurd because it was like it was Metazu. It was very tiny. This is Pokemon. And if I expect like I think it's plausible. I'm not going to do it because the whole fisherman, not the banker, all that stuff. But like, I think I could plausibly 10x my operation if I wanted to. And I think I could rip 1 million packs in a year. Now we're talking that would be like 0.2% for one individual. And there probably are operations like that for one individual operation to be doing, again, 1% of Metazu. It's like, it's Metazu. 0.25% of Pokemon worldwide, like that's numbers. I think Rudy's talked about it before. He's done the math on his magic that he does. I think Rudy's like 1% of magic. That is numbers. Sure. That is insane. And again, two people hear the same number and they have very different reactions. I think it's interesting. I don't know what to make of it entirely, clearly, but I think it's very, very interesting.
It is. It is.
Does the print numbers include the beta cards last year? Numbers could be skewed. That's actually hilarious. Oh God. That's dark. I know I scrolled past some questions, so I just want to make sure I don't miss any of those. Day 315 of asking Nick to sell me the Pokemon Snap Station.
Even though he just started asking last week, or I guess it was 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say, it's been at least 2 weeks. It's been at least 2 weeks because it was last episode.
Yeah, I take back my comments. I take my fun comments.
This is a funny comment because, like, if you walk down the toy aisle in a store in 2025, there are blind boxes of like little figures and Lego minifigures, and there's blind boxes of like everything. Pokemon did do the mystery product several months ago, but why doesn't Pokemon have like a random sitting cutie thing? This has probably been like theorized and talked about before, but imagine if you bought into a Series 1 sitting cutie that was more limited than the regular sitting cuties, and you had a 1 in 100 shot of getting a shiny, and they had the entire Series 1, included every Kanto Pokemon. Could you imagine? 30th anniversary, Pokemon drops. Hey, Pokemon, feel free to reach out if you want to license this idea from me. Sadly, I don't think they need my permission to do it. But like sitting cuties on average are $14-15. Make it $29.99. Double your profit, Pokemon. You sell a blind sitting cutie, Series 1, limited. There's only going to be X amount of hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever. Every 1 in 100 is a random shiny. What would that shiny Charizard sitting cutie go for? $29.99 retail, 1 in 100 pull rate for any shiny. So your pull rate of a specific shiny would be 1 in 15,000. 1 in 15,000 would be a Charizard. So 15,000 times 29 would be 450. Wait, 15,000 times.
Way too big a math for me to do.
That's 450. It would be $450,000 on average. Well, to pull like one of everyone if you didn't get any duplicates. What would that Charizard sell for? What would that Pikachu sell for? Like, please, Pokemon, I'm begging for it right now, live on camera. Please bring it to us. Please.
I think it would be an absurd amount, but I don't think it'd be as much as a card. Like, does merch sell for as much as cards?
They make more money. I think they make more money on merch than they do on cards. But like secondary market wouldn't be. Yeah, secondary market wouldn't be the same. But that's an interesting thing to think about. That would be wild. That would be very wild. Question for Nick: if you took my offer for a tuna sandwich, do you think you'd be better off no sandwich for Daniel?
Well, you missed PK's question. He had
what question?
One along those lines.
Oh, here we go. That's a good one. Question for Nick: if you took my offer to be a streamer for you, are you in a better or worse spot than the same for Dan? Am I in a better or worse spot that you didn't take the offer?
For Dan.
That's an interesting question.
Oh, I think it's if he worked for me, are you in a better or worse spot?
No, so if he worked for you, like, do you regret not having expanded sooner? Do you regret not having said yes to him?
No, I don't think I regret it. I think I could have definitely expanded sooner, but I don't think I was ready to. Whereas now I think I'm finally ready to. I don't think it would have gone over. I think it would have been fine, but I don't think it would have gone over as well since I wasn't ready for it. Whereas now I'm fully on board and understand that there's no shot to keep this going myself. So yeah, I think the way things turned out is actually a good thing.
I'm happy that as the second choice, I ended up getting PK as a streamer. I'm happy that 97 people turned down Nick to be co-host on PokeFlipz.
97 people.
I'm happy to be Nick's 98th choice for podcast co-host because we're still here over 4 years later. Had somebody else said yes, that's an interesting question, and you don't need to put the people on the spot that you asked. But do you think had any of the other people said yes, do you think PokeFlipz would still be a thing today? Do you think it would have more subs or less subs?
It would. Well, could it have less? I do not think it would be a thing today. No. There was it's getting better now, but I would say before 6 months before I moved out here, in that 6 month time frame, if you had said, do you want to keep doing PokeFlipz? I'm thinking about stopping. Do you want to keep doing it? I would say let's stop.
And I know there's been a time or two
for a solid 6 months.
There's over the 4+ years, there was a time or two where I'm like, are you still having fun? Are you still wanting to do this? And I kind of said, like, I'm having fun. I want to do this. I'm just checking to make sure you still are. That's probably in that 6 month span.
Yes,
so
for sure.
I've definitely been overall the one to like keep it regular, keep it going. Look at my YouTube channel. Like I'm Mr. Consistent on the content side, and I think it's I'm glad we've stuck it out. I'm glad we're still here because I'm still having a good time, and it sounds like you are too. Again, though, for a while it was tough.
Yes.
But PK, I'm glad that Nick turned you down. I'm glad that I second choice got to come through because I'm doing better, I think, than if you had joined Nick. And it's entirely a guess. Maybe I would have saw your success with Nick, and maybe I would have hired people sooner, and maybe I would be bigger. Maybe I would have 10 streamers by now. Maybe like everything could have changed. But what I think more likely would have happened, I probably would have started with Ponga and whoever else at around the same time that I did, if I had to guess, because there are reasons that that's around when it started, because that's around when I was ready. But no regrets. Very happy with where everything's at. I think it's the same for all parties included. You need 500 streamers ripping 1 million packs a year. And that's to consume like we're talking about consuming everything, which is obscene, because like a large amount does get invested in, a large amount does get sat on for the longer term. 10 years later, on average, what percent of product is not ripped? That's one thing I love about serialized cards. Shout out to Magic the Gathering with the Chocobos, 77 Chocobos. You can quite reasonably estimate what percent of product has been ripped. Going back to MetaZoo, Wilderness had the oh crap, what the hell is his name? The Green Man, right? Wilderness had the Green Man serialized out of 100. Now, some amount of Green Men are going to be pulled. People won't know they pulled it. They won't post about it publicly. So not all of them will be documented. But when you have a serialized out of 77 Chocobo, you know that once 7 have gone public, you are quite confident that 1/11th of the product at minimum has been ripped. You are confident if 40 Chocobos are publicly being transacted, graded, sold on Heritage, sold on Golden, sold on eBay. If 40 of 77 have been ripped, you're pretty confident half the product has been ripped, assuming that they're equally diluted amongst all the product. You're never going to know how many were pulled and haven't been posted somewhere. But that's one reason that like long term I do want Pokemon to do serialized cards, because it allows you to have insight into what percent of attrition has happened, whereas today we're just entirely unknown. And like imagine if you have a serialized card in each of Black and White era and XY era and every era along the way. You could kind of extremely roughly, this is not a perfect science, but you could extremely roughly extrapolate what percent of Scarlet Violet is being ripped relative to what percent of Sword and Shield was ripped. Well, Sword and Shield had a 1 of 100.
I think it works well. I think it worked well with MetaZoo. I think it works well with Magic. I don't think it would work as clean with Pokemon, because there are so many kids into Pokemon ripping packs, and their parents don't know a single thing about Pokemon.
Imagine
so this little 5-year-old pulls the 1 of 100 Charizard, and has no idea what it is. Goes to the playground with it, trades it for like a Squirtle.
Yeah, or folds it in half in their pocket, goes to the washing machine, gets 10 million views on TikTok. that one might get 1 billion views on TikTok if you watched a 1 of 100 Charizard or 1 of 10 Charizard or something. But I don't think it's coming anytime soon. But Rudy even mentioned it in a recent video. We've been saying it for a while. Like Pokemon has serialization in their back pocket for if and when they ever need it down the line. Right now, they don't need it. I don't expect them to do it anytime soon because they don't need it. Let's see. I think. Oh, here we go. Professor Birch says, question, if you're vending this weekend card party or Collecticon, should we be selling Destined Rivals and Prismatic loose or sealed, and why?
100%. Well, like if you have some that you're investing in right now, I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think I would be investing in it right now.
I think he's asking, like, should we be selling the sealed products or just break it down to the loose packs? I could be misunderstanding the question. I think, I'm not positive. One nice thing about loose packs is that, like, if you're flying, you're going to fit a lot more loose packs, a lot more dollars worth of product as loose packs than this. If you're local and you're driving, I would do some amount of both, maybe. I would fill my car. I would have a lot of both. I would have a lot of both in both facets. Some people won't trust loose packs. Some people will only buy it if it's the sealed product. So, yeah, por que no los dos is my answer.
And he did confirm loose packs versus sealed, like ETBs, blisters, etc. I'm with Dan. Break it down. Sell the loose packs. Not only you're flying, but everyone else there. Not everyone, but the vast majority of people are going to be flying there. So people are most likely gonna purchase the UPC and rip it there anyway. So I would just make it easier for everyone, break everything down.
You said something I'm gonna push back on. This is the podcast of chat engagement. This is the podcast of estimating the estimable. Is it estimable or estimatable? I don't know how to say that word. But
I think it's estimatable.
So you just said something that I staunchly disagree with.
I got some pushback because I know exactly what you're gonna say too.
You said most people are flying.
Yes.
I think most people are local. I think most people attending conventions are going to be local. Vending is different. Vending, I still think most vendors are probably local. I think vendors are like 50-50. If I had to guess, Cleveland Collecticon, whether it's Cleveland, Orlando, New Jersey, wherever, I would say half of vendors fly in, half of vendors are local, would be my guess. As far as customers on the ground, 90% local, 10% fly in, tops, in my opinion.
For Collecticon, yes, I will agree with you. For Card Party, I don't think that's the case.
Card Party, I would agree, a higher percentage flying in, even the attendees. That's a lot more of a niche thing. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I would still say at least half of Card Party's attendees are probably local, if not 2/3. But Collecticons, I would say 90%. I would say 90% they're local traffic. Local being like within 4-hour drive or something. People that are driving is how I would define it. I'm driving to Cleveland. Would I define myself as local? I'm a 6-hour drive. So I would say that I'm counting as like flying in when I go to Cleveland. I'm one of the 10% going to Cleveland as a consumer from out of the 4-hour driving radius. Mm-hmm. But Card Party, I agree. It's a lot smaller event. It feels very tied to one personality in particular, specifically. It's very tied to Pat DPM, and then it's very tied to his featured creators. So where I think Collecticons might be 50% vendor travel, 50% local vendors, I think Card Party is probably 90% travel vendors coming in, or 80% travel vendors coming in, and then consumers might be 50-50, or maybe they're 2/3 travel, 1/3 local. But yeah, Card Party is an event. Collecticon is a show. In Card Party, with Collecticon creating 18 events, they make it so people have to travel less too. Card Party has 2 events. So many more people, if they decide like in 2025, I'm going to a Card Party, 90+% of the population of the country has to fly if they want to go. That's probably fairly accurate. Probably less than 10% of the population can even drive. Maybe somebody will fact check me there. I don't know how many people are. What's the less than 4-hour drive from Seattle and from wherever it is in Florida? Maybe that's 10% of the population. But Collecticon with New Jersey there, with Long Beach, Collecticon within a 4-hour drive, you probably touch 90% of the United States population. Because you've got the big Texas regions, you've got and then you've got Florida, you've got California, you've got New York. You're hitting like all the big states. You've got probably a 90% coverage. So it's probably very indicative of just how spread out they are and how many more events they have.
Yeah.
Right when I heard you say it though, I'm like, I'm gonna do it to him. I'm gonna push back. Collecticon, most people are local by far, I would say. So
I was talking Card Party when I said that.
And he's a 45-minute drive too. I would fill my vehicle with the sealed variant, because like you can if you get to the store to the show and people are like, oh, you don't have loose packs, you can literally, while you're standing there waiting for customers to come, you can just break some stuff down. Like get a box in your island there and just be breaking down product to loose packs if you have to. So I would not break them down unless I had to.
Is Birch going to Card? I thought Birch was going to Card Party. Is he going to Collecticon? He must be going to Collecticon.
Sounds like he's going to Collecticon. Yeah, he's 45-minute drive, no hotel necessary, which is nice.
That is very nice. That is very nice. I enjoyed that for Chicago.
Collecticon Cleveland gang, let's go. I'm going to be there. Even though all I talked about this podcast was New Jersey Collecticon for whatever reason. I am excited to be in Cleveland. I'm actually going to be, I know James is going there. I'm going to see James there. Haven't seen him since Chicago. Hasn't been that long, I guess. But yeah, excited to go. I know more people going to Card Party, certainly, than I know going to Cleveland. But when I set out on the road trip tomorrow, I'll probably post an Instagram story and just be like, hey, who's going to be out? Who's going to be around? I'll probably try to one of the nights. I'll pick either Friday or Saturday night. I'll get the kids into bed with the wife, and then I'll head on out, and I'll probably be out for at least one good night of, if people are hanging out in a suite somewhere, I'll go walk to the closest Walgreens, pick up a bunch of IPAs, or go out in the town, hit up some bars. Hopefully someone will be out for hanging, because I want to at least one night. We'll see.
You know, James won't be. He'll be in bed by 8.
I'm gonna make sure I see James, but I'll have to do that before 8 p.m. local time. He'll be getting tucked into bed, I'm sure, as he was in Vegas. So
you can tuck him to bed with your kids.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think Cleveland's gonna be a good time. I think we're pretty close to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. We're gonna do one day of convention and then one day of non-convention. It looks like Saturday has a chance of rain. Sunday looks pretty nice. So we're probably gonna go to the convention on Saturday when it's rainy, and then do our own thing in Cleveland on Sunday. But yeah, I'm contemplating bringing some stuff and trying to sell to some vendor, I don't even know if I know anyone vending that I could just like put stuff in someone's case and pay him a consignment fee. Yeah, Birch. I guess I do know Birch. But Birch, have you got any space? Have you got any space for some like mid high end consignments? I guess I don't even have a ton of inventory on hand, but I'm driving, so like I could bring whatever. I wouldn't mind leaving with a little bit of cash, but I also can't leave with a ton of cash because I'm going to be crossing the border into and out of Canada, and I just don't want to deal with technically you're supposed to declare. I don't even want to bother with that. So we'll see. But I think we're fully caught up. Nick, every 2 weeks without fail. I gotta go. I got stupid flips. I can see he's probably got it set. Like the way I don't have an iPhone. The way my phone works, there's like you can have up to 20 pinned copy and paste messages, and I personally nice. Can you do that with an iPhone, or is that another reason they're inferior? So my 20 pinned messages are like detailing my consignment thing. It's like, here's how the process works for people that ask me. It's my PO box, it's PK's private mailbox, it's Ponga's address. It's all the things I'm frequently doing. Nick's number one pinned copy paste is I gotta go. I got stupid flips. I can guarantee it. If he didn't have an iPhone, if he had that functionality, it would be the number one pinned thing. I have like my Fanatics affiliate. Like it's handy because like I do every week. I'm doing stories and I'm using the same link. I'm replying to Instagram messages all the time with my PO box. It's very handy to be like on the computer. I have a similar thing. I just have like a notepad thing with all my copy paste replies. But the phone, you get 20 of them. You get 20 of them in the built-in like it's not in messages because I use it on Instagram. I use it on email, in Discord, and my phone. It's like in the keyboard app, I guess. Must be.
That is a cool feature.
Can't believe I couldn't live without it these days. If I had to manually type out all those things that many times, that I'd probably have to retire. That'd be too much.
Probably have to retire.
Honestly, that feature probably saves me 2 hours a week every week. Maybe 2 hours is a lot. An hour, definitely a solid hour. Literally just typing. Like my thing for if you want to consign with me, it's fairly lengthy. It's like, here's the process, here's how I pay, here's the days that they go live, and it's like it would take me a couple minutes to type that out every time. I'm sending that one at least 10 times a week, then going and fetching the link for my stories every Saturday night when I do them. It's got to save me a solid hour every week. Got it.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Birchie, you will be missed in Tampa, big dog. Dan, not so much. Ouch. Oh man.
At least she mentioned you. I don't even get a mention.
Let's see. Zorner says CT scanning my blind box of Pokemon stuffies to see if there's a shadowless Charizard inside. That's actually hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, imagine, and they could sell, like, it would be one for $29.99, or you could buy a booster. You could buy like 10 stuffies stuffed into one box for like $249.99. You get a little bit of a discount if you buy 10 at a time.
Ooh.
That would be amazing. I miss all y'all. Why did Pat Flynn have to do Card Party the same weekend? There's more and more shows popping up.
Going on this weekend.
I like, cards are booming, shows are booming. I'm interested to see the landscape of cards. Like what happened with the whole MSRP debate. Was I right or wrong? If you could just peek into the future 2 years, how's the show scene looking? Is Collecticon now doing 57 events where they have one every single weekend, and then they have like 5 special midweek events throughout the year? Are they printing 25 billion cards a year? Has Destined Rivals Prismatic ever gone under MSRP, or was I wrong there? So many things I would love to know the answers of. I think I know what the answers are going to be, but Collecticon, I really don't know. Like 5 years from now, 2030, how many Collecticons will there be, do you think?
I didn't think they'd be doing as many as they are.
They're doing another thing.
I think they'll tap out at, I think the most they'll do is 20, 25, 26, one every other week. Yeah. I think that's the most they'll do. But even the amount they're doing now seems wild.
I feel like,
and then they finally announced the anime convention thing.
I heard Dr. Applesauce talking about that on with Dr. Applesauce was talking about that on with Alex. I think 20 might be the limit. Like, I don't see them even getting to every other week. Would be nuts, because you're counting around Christmas, you're counting around like all these holidays, and I think we're pretty near the cap on what Collecticons will be, especially knowing it's the same guys, right? It's the same guys that. So yeah, I think with all the other competing conventions, I think 18, 20 is about the tops that we see. I would imagine it be around the same lines as that. Yeah. Bert says we're section 81F to G. If you or anyone will be in Cleveland wants to stop by. So yeah, if you're in Cleveland, go say hi to Professor Birch. Go buy some of his sealed Prismatic and Destined Rivals products. Sealed and/or loose packs. But yeah, 18 is a lot. 18 is definitely a lot. I think it's less Pat Flynn having to do it the same weekend, and more more Collecticon hogging the whole damn year, the whole damn calendar, and Pat just had to land somewhere, right? But my pushback to Pat, I'm sure you're not listening, but why do you got to do end of June in Florida? It was 95 degrees in New York on Monday. I'm not about to fly down from New York 90 degrees to go have Florida 99, 100 degrees. That said, though, Cleveland's supposed to be like 85. Niagara Falls is going to be like 85 when we're there. It's crazy. It's crazy right now how hot it is.
I bet the convention space is super cheap. That could be why.
For
Tampa?
Yeah.
Or Orlando? No, June, Tampa, right?
I think it's Tampa. Yeah. June convention are probably cheaper than February conventions, January conventions. And yeah, I would imagine that's probably true.
I can definitely see that.
But yeah, I miss when Orlando Collecticon was the one to start the year off, because going down mid-February, like
that was winter, so nice.
Peak winter in upstate New York, having a weekend down in Florida. That is perfect. That's what I'm all about. End of June, school's out. I'm not about it. I'll drive horizontal over to Cleveland, have a good time. I'm not about to go more south than this.
No, all set there.
if anyone has any other questions, we will intend to go. We normally go for about 3 hours. If things quiet down and there's not any conversation to be had, we might wrap up early. But yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them. Anything else big on your mind? I know you probably got. Have you got a stream tonight? Are you doing regular streams with your local convention that you're going to, or are you shifting it around some before Thrifty comes in?
It'll be regular stream. So tonight will be normal. Friday night I'll start early. Chef's doing a shout out Chef and Beerski. They're doing and Mason and Jake
and BB and Legend of Luke and
they're doing Card Party Friday. They're doing a flash firebox from 4 to 7 or something like that. So I'm gonna start at 6, which will be 7 their time. So right after they end, I'll go live.
You're just letting them have it for free?
What?
You're just letting them have it for free? Do your competition, man. You got to do some like MSRP prismatic.
I don't want to start that early.
You got to do like MSRP prismatic. You gotta starve them of viewers, right? That's your competition. You got to be. It's cutthroat business.
We'll be good. We'll be good. So I'll do that. Hopefully end at a reasonable hour on Friday. BB, dang it.
Poor BB. You always get in trouble when you start listing names. Always.
And then take Saturday off for this 2-day show. But then one thing I am thinking that it's going to depend on how much I can buy this weekend at the show, because it's so tough to keep up with stuff to run in the lives. But I'd love to do a 24-hour stream 4th of July weekend. Start on Friday or Saturday and go a straight 24 hours.
Is that you or you and Thrifty?
No, just me. Obviously, Walrus and Thrifty will hopefully help out for a couple hours so I can take small breaks, get something to eat. But I want it to be just me. And do like a 24-hour stream. I want to do it. I want to be the first Pokemon person to do it on eBay Live. And Crave and Ryan's Card House are getting close to the point where they could do a 24-hour stream. So I was originally thinking do it Cyber Monday weekend. But I think 4th of July weekend could be good. Where 4th of July is on a Friday this year, most people have that day off. So most people are having a 3-day weekend. So we'll see. We'll see on that.
Hopefully they don't blow their fingers off so that they can still hit that bid button.
Yes. But no, the pack ripping has been going like mainly weekends, Friday, Saturday night. It's been going so late. We did 5 a.m. one night. A few weeks later, we were up till 6 a.m. So I think if I advertise it and do some like specials on booster packs for like late night specials, I think we could do it. I am a little bit worried from like that 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. time frame, but after that 4 hours, I think we're golden.
BB, the competition, they're gonna be ruthless. They're gonna wait for you to announce, and then it's gonna be Bierski 6 hours into BB 6 hours into Chef into Mason. They're gonna do like a round robin to get 24 hours before you do.
Oh, I don't know, BB. I don't know.
And Galaxy wants to know, what's your caffeine drink of choice to get you through the we doing energy drinks, coffee?
Coffee to start, but coffee doesn't give me a ton of energy. It gives me a little bit, but Monsters for sure. Those definitely will wake you up. I'm trying to think when the last time I pulled an all-nighter was. I don't think it was
crazy long ago. There's definitely been some conventions that I've gone to in the past couple of years where like I've had to leave for my flight at 3 a.m. and I've been damn near just like I barely got to sleep, took a power nap from like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So I almost accidentally pulled an all-nighter. But they're tougher. They're tougher at 35 than they were at 20, 18, 20, 25, anywhere in there. They're getting harder each year for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mine would
Have
be
you
Coke,
ever had
Coke
to
and
do one for like work or when your kids were little? It's a lot more miserable when you have to do it than when you're out like having fun.
I think all of them were by choice. I don't think I was ever forced into a all-nighter. I don't think. Definitely close, I guess. There's definitely some times where, I got up earlier than I intended, earlier than I wanted, or went to bed way later than I intended. But I don't think ever like a full 24 hours that I can remember. I would definitely be hitting the Coca-Colas and the Coca-Colas and Mountain Dews hard for sure.
Does he mean Coke or Coca-Cola?
Oh, oh man. Kiki wants to know how our Sky's MetaZoo stream's going. Better traction on eBay than Fanatics. It's hard to say. So eBay gave us a push notification, which this blew my mind, Nick. What's your average? Like how many, when a stream ends, eBay shows you how many were in and out the whole stream, how many unique visitors you had. What's your average for like a general Pokemon stream that you get in and out, no push notification?
I would say nowadays it's like 750 to 800.
And then what do you get with like a push?
Oh, yeah, I've never gotten as big of a push as you over there. I think my biggest push was like 5,000.
Skya had 10,000 by the time that one ended.
What was his viewership like?
I actually haven't even asked him because he sees only on the back end. It went all right. It wasn't like amazing. That like we're 3 months out from release, so it's been a long time. I'll have to ask him. Sky, maybe he's in here. Sky, if you're in here, what was your like average concurrent viewership? I genuinely don't know. I would say it's going all right. That one's hard to use as a fair judge because that one we had a massive push. But yeah, he's I believe he's live again this Saturday, and then I think he has to miss one. But tonight actually is the first night that we're not on Fanatics Live since Thanksgiving. I think
Really?
we did. I think Ponga's traveling this weekend, so we're not doing Thursday night or Sunday night. I'm actually
off to this week.
I think he gets paid so much for streaming. I hear that he's got a lake house. I hear that he's at the lake house that is funded by his live streaming side gig that I may or may not pay him too much for. But no, he's off this Thursday and Sunday, and I've had it on my mind for a while. PK Ponga will go to events. They will go on personal vacations. They will occasionally be sick. They will occasionally need mental health days, I'm sure, from time to time. Like I generally want the stream running as much as possible. We've run every day this year, I believe. Tonight will be the first break in that streak. Last year we missed Christmas and Thanksgiving. Christmas, I think I said Thanksgiving. Christmas we didn't do either. Maybe I think we did Easter even. I think we did New Year's Day. I think we've only missed a couple since we started in October. But those things are going to happen. People are going to have to take time. I want to get a third streamer to do Pokemon, whether that's Skya. I've talked with Skya potentially about getting him set up with Pokemon packs, having him have the ability to fill in here and there for Pokemon. Maybe other people as well. Remains to be seen. But that's kind of a summer project for me, is getting the stream locked down more securely with hopefully a third streamer that can fill in gaps. But yeah, we'll see.
Let me know how. I'll be curious to know how your Friday stream does. I almost wonder if it's beneficial to take a night off and then come back.
It's not going to be good data.
But then you get all those people pent up that haven't spent money in 24 hours.
We have
like
a bounty
when I do my Monday streams are always really, really good. And I'm wondering, when I started eBay Live, I figured, okay, Monday night, nobody's going to be here. But it's been consistently really, really good. And I'm wondering, is that because I'm off on Sunday?
To an extent.
I think that makes sense. So I'd be curious to know how your Friday night goes. If
it won't be good data.
Normal. What?
It won't be good data because two things are happening. We're actually, I think I'm allowed to say it. I hope I'm allowed to say it. Sorry, fanatics, if I'm not. We're one of a few different Pokemon sellers that are debuting what they call instant rips on the platform. So it debuted back in March with sports. The way that it works is like people know Fanatics Collect. People know the vault that exists. They have, I believe they have 250 of these Pokemon cards that are vaulted in Oregon. They're vaulted in the vault. And you buy in, it's a mystery product. So you buy in, I think it's, I won't say all the price points and everything because maybe those aren't meant to be disclosed yet. But there's a floor, there's a ceiling, there's an average value. It's kind of like ripping a pack, but instead you're getting a random slab. And the way that it works, like you instantly have it in your vault. If you hit the ceiling, they have an automated buyback price integrated into it. You could sell it back and you could have money to buy other things. You could keep it. You could auction it on Fanatics Collect. But two things. That's debuting tomorrow night. And also, Fanatics has put a bounty, $2,000 bounty on the Umbreon from Prismatic. So if and when this weekend, it's only PK, Friday and Saturday night, Friday morning, Friday night, and Saturday night. If PK pulls you an Umbreon SIR from Prismatic, you get $1,000 credit, and we do a $1,000 giveaway to chat. So we might only have 50 or maybe it'll be more because it's a big bounty. We might only have 50 or 100 people watching. If you're hanging out in chat and you're there when an Umbreon gets pulled, you got a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 chance at getting $1,000 Fanatics credit. So if you're around, if you're not doing anything else, maybe throw PK stream up on the side. Maybe throw some bids out there. Maybe you get a bounty takedown. Maybe you do an instant rip. Maybe you get a big hit. But I just wanted to plug that because that it costs nothing to go there and hang out and watch what's getting ripped. And if an Umbreon gets hit, you might get $1,000, which is nuts. So
that's wild.
All that to say, what happens tomorrow night will not necessarily be attributed to taking tonight off, is what I wanted to say. Yeah. There's a lot of hype stuff that will lead it to be hopefully a big night. So it muddies up the data on like, is this because we took Thursday night off, or more likely is this because of these other things too? I believe Fanatics is still US only. Yes. Fanatics Collect is not. There are a lot of international folks that use Fanatics Collect. This integration, I feel like at some point they'll get there. I feel like at some point they'll get there to where they're international, because like the Vault is, Fanatics Collect is. Live, I think it's just logistics and whatever. Hopefully they get there eventually. But I'm not entirely sure. Galaxy says tips for selling these Metazoo Flex decks. I brought them inside. I haven't opened them at all. Did you buy any? I know you bought Metazoo base set. Did you buy any?
I know. I'm just gonna stick with the booster boxes.
I should have probably. These have some boosters inside them. I think they have some exclusive artwork. They're heavy though. They're big. They're heavy. My Metazoo streamers in Idaho. Idaho is not as friendly to ship to as like PK is a lot easier and cheaper to ship to than Ponga. PK's in Connecticut. Ponga's in Illinois. I'm in New York. But shipping to Idaho is rough. And I just, yeah, shipping all that stuff to him, I should have ordered it through, in hindsight, I shouldn't have ordered it through my main distros. I have Cardi.io I use for Metazoo. With them, they actually allow me to ship directly to Skya.
Ooh, that's
so
nice.
for Metazoo base set, they shipped it all to me. I forwarded it all to Skya. But for this new one, I asked my other distros, they don't do that. You have one account, you have one address. But with Cardi.io being a smaller thing, being a newer distro, they were more flexible. So for Torrential Tides, I'm very happy to say that like he's getting all the stuff he needs for the streams. He's getting all the stuff he needs for the rips immediately at launch. And I don't have to forward those, which is super nice.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Mr. Walrus is offering Birch a job.
Nice to see that he's your. How can I afford all this?
Mr. Walrus must wear lots of hats over there, and one of those hats is talent acquisition. So if you want to join the OSP stream team, update your resumes and get him to the Bidoof in chat.
Yes.
The director of talent acquisition. Does he have an official title? What's his title? Or do we not talk about the official tag stuff? Oh, man.
No, he could be the because he does a lot of the shipping, so he can be the director of logistics, something like that, some fancy title like that.
Something fancy. That sounds expensive, though. I feel like to have director in the title, you probably got to have a six-figure salary. You probably want to go with like shipping intern 1 or junior shipping intern.
There we go.
My title is Heartbeat. Man uprooted his whole life. Fair.
That is true. That is true. He's got a point there. He's got a point there.
You did move halfway across the country for him. Oh man, that's hilarious. Black Bolt, White Flare. Those are coming in pretty hot, aren't they? July 18th, is it?
Yep.
3 weeks.
I don't know if I'm excited for that set. We've been opening a decent bit of the Japanese set, and there's some really good ARs. There's also a lot of really stupid ARs. It's the whole Gen 5 thing. There's so many stupid Pokemon in Gen 5. And then also like the I'm so happy they brought the Master Balls back. Like the good version of the Master Balls with 151. The prismatic Master Balls were absolute garbage. But you pull a Master Ball and it's like, cool, a Master Ball. Some Pokemon I've never heard of in my life. I don't know. I'm not sold on the black and white sets. I'm not sold on it. Have you interacted with it much? Probably not.
No, there's some decent Pokemon in Gen 5. I think every gen has got decent ones. I'm terrible at picking favorites and least favorites and stuff. I think they're all fine, but I as I said, I would not be overly surprised if Black Bolt and White Flare are the first ones to go under MSRP and then Journey to follow. Because if and when Black Bolt and White Flare come out under MSRP, then you've got Pokemon being like, okay, we've got a little bit of breathing room here. If they can come out under MSRP and kind of stay there for a couple months, now they've got the breathing room and they can devote more of their printing to Destined, to Journey, to Prismatic. I don't know this. I have no insider info, but they have more than one print facility and they have a whole hell of a lot of print capacity. They're printing nearly 1 billion cards a month. I don't think they print one set at a time. If I had to speculate, if I had to guess, I would think Destined is being printed as we speak. Printing is a 24/7, 365 operation. I would think Destined and Prismatic Evolutions are on the printers. Prismatic almost certainly, because we still have more. Don't we still have more products coming for Prismatic? We have more SKUs coming down the line, or are they all done?
Prismatic, I think everything's out now.
Oh, maybe it is.
I don't think we have. something stupid on Instagram. Have you seen the Destined Rivals tins coming September 26th? That's like the latest thing that everyone's posting today. It's like, who cares? It's so stupid. They're not even good tins. We're like 3 months away from them coming out.
But with what respect? Like they're posting them and saying what about it?
That they're coming
that'll
out
crash the market.
26th. It's like they're nothing special. It's a tin with more Destined Rivals packs and like a double rare of Nidoking, Mewtwo, and Garchomp, I think. So it's like there's nothing good in these tins that we don't already have. Why are you posting it just to be the first one to leak the news? I don't know. That drove me crazy. I saw like 4 people with that same post.
I don't scroll Instagram much, so I didn't even see it. But I'm assuming I'll see it in YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. I won't be engaging with YouTube much next week though, so I guess it's a good time to not be. But there's always that's the way the news cycle works. It's the same thing in like actual mainstream media about any event happens, anything, even if it's not an actual event, something happens. There's 50,000 reports on it and takes and reactions, and that's just the way the news cycle has to go. That's the way it is everywhere.
So annoying. I don't get it. UAP says there is an Eevee statue collection coming.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought I clicked on that, and I guess I didn't.
Would have been nice to know that. I wish someone posted that.
I thought there was a little bit more coming of Prismatic, but I presume Destined is being actively printed. It seems like 151 is being actively printed. If it's still coming out in Costco and stuff soon, it's just been dropped at Target a bunch. But I would rather, if I had to choose one way or the other, as someone who's getting allocated a product, I would truly rather Black and White come out under MSRP than above MSRP. So that guys like Nick, so that guys like all these other people can't be holier than thou. I'm selling at MSRP, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm honestly, I'm sick of all that virtue signaling that goes on, all that, like, enough. And a lot of people, but one thing I like to see, by the time Destined Rivals came around, a lot of the MSRP sellers switched up and they limited how much they sold at MSRP, or they stopped it entirely, which was funny to see because I knew that was going to be the case. Julia wants to know, how is living in Chicago been?
It's been good. I like it here. I don't think I would necessarily live here. I would have stayed in Massachusetts for sure. But no, overall I do like it. There's a bunch of restaurants to go to, which is probably my favorite part, because I am a big eating out person. I need to get better about eating at home every now and then.
Only thing Nick has under MSRP is labor. Oh man. This guy is unhinged. Opinions shared during live stream do not represent OSP Enterprises as a whole. You got a lot of people pushing back on like Nick being upset that people are advertising a product coming out. Walrus wants to know, Dan, do your streamers have to provide their own packaging supplies? Yes. So the way that we do it, my pay structure is, they've been doing it for like 8 months now. It's been a little bit dynamic. There's a few different like aspects of it. It's pay by stream hour, but I also do a pay by transaction. I do like a small amount per transaction to largely cover the card saver, the penny sleeves, the supplies. So they're buying it, they're sourcing their own, but they do technically get paid like a per order amount that covers that to an extent, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I
will be back here in a second.
Oh, you got a delivery coming?
No, I got to run to the bathroom real quick, though.
Okay.
I will be back here in a second.
Okay. Okay, now that he's gone, what do you guys want to talk about? This is a question for Nick, so I'll save it for later. Another one. Oh God, squirt sack mystery bags. Oh God, would rather have Thrifty sell thrift bags. I feel like with a name like Thrifty TCG, there's definitely some plays on words that you could there's some plays on words that you could act on, you could leverage. What is your most bearish take? I mean, I'm getting called a bear for saying a main mass release set that's only a month old is going to go under MSRP someday. That is defined as bearish somehow. That's absolutely insane. Oh no. L-Dub says, Dan, my downstairs flooded last night and ruined one of my prismatic ETB cases, and now I have to replace my sewer pipes. What company can you advise me to use for my pipe replacement? DIY it. Pop open YouTube, do a little bit of research on how to do a little bit of plumbing. DIY it. It's probably not legal. You probably technically have to have a permit and all that crap, but like, Dan, do you think Medicine streams aren't going as well?
And we start talking about home repairs.
Because of the thumbnail. Seems like Pokemon goes well because of the thumbnail. I think Medizu is going fine for what it is. I think my perspective is very warped by how well Pokemon's going, by how big of an IP, how liquid Pokemon is. But overall, like, the Medizu streams are profitable. To launch a new live stream in a very niche TCG and to have it like actually make some amount of money after I'm paying Skya a pretty good wage to stream it. So like to be able to pay a good wage to stream it and actually profit money all said and done, that's a big W to me. I think it'll get better. I think it'll get better as there's more sets to sell. It's very hard to stream just one set. Having a selection of sets to choose from will be nice, but you should not have anything on the ground. Don't have anything on the ground. Have things on pallets, have things on shelves, have things on, I mean, at minimum, get some 2x4s or old 4x4s and set stuff up on something a little bit. Obviously, if you flood feet, the bottom shelf, the stuff on pallets on the bottom is all screwed anyways. But like, there are so many things that can happen in a house that lead to a half an inch, a quarter inch of water on the ground. Everyone's collection, inventory, investments should survive a quarter inch of water on the ground. There should be nothing that should get hit by a quarter inch of water on the ground in whatever room they're in. That's my take. That's my opinion. Sounds like it was the one thing that was on the ground though. So overall he was covered, but it was the one thing on the ground. I don't know if there's something here with the way he spells white, or maybe this is not a question I should be putting on. Maybe this is not a question I should be putting on.
That's not the question we can get in trouble.
Oh God. Krabby's Cards wants to know, when will your squirt sack mystery bags be available?
I'm surprised you're getting into mystery bags before me over there.
It's the platform. It's not me. So the whole instant rips thing down the line, the way that it's intended to work, I could build and curate my own instant rips down the line. But the way that they're doing it at launch, they're like hand curating them themselves as the platform, and we're getting the ability to sell them. I think we'll get some kind of like we'll get some kind of a commission or whatever for however many we sell. But in the future, theoretically, I could do like a meaty bag. You've got your squirt sack mystery bags. Goated has got his milky bags. I'll have meaty bags. I think the way in months or a year from now, whenever it is, I'll be able to send 100 cards for grading, and I'll be able to pick, like, I want these 20 to be on Friday night's instant rips. And I'll like, it'll be interesting because like Fanatics has a lot of sales data. They'll be able to attribute a value to each. It will be like and their valuation's not perfect. Nobody's valuations are perfect, but it'll be a transparent thing. It'll be like, as far as I understand, there'll be a web page you could go to that will show you the 20 cards that you could hit, and I'll sell them for $100 a piece. And the average will be 90, and the ceiling will be 300 and the floor will be 50 or whatever it is. It'll be fully transparent. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And it's instant. It's digital. It'll be instantly in your vault. I think it's a very interesting idea. I'm interested to see how the consumers buy into it, if they do.
Oh, it'll definitely do well. I want to start something relatively soon. Because you have more and more of the eBay Live people getting into the whole mystery bags, and the way they're doing it is good, but what they have in there and how much they hype up, it's so stupid. So I want to make an actual good one that gives good value to everyone, but you could also get a higher chase.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I would rather sell 9-pack lots of prismatic. I would rather just sell the item. But in practice, I did it on YouTube years ago. Years ago, I had like 300 listings on my eBay that were under $25 or under $30. I delisted all of them because I was only selling 2 or 3 a week. I was selling 2 or 3 slabs a week. I took the same slabs. I marked up the average price higher than normal. Some would be wins, most would be slight losses. Not even a big floor ceiling thing. But I sold them as a mystery slab, same items. I sold 50 a week. My sell-through rate was 20 times higher. And it was the same stuff. And people were paying a little bit more to get it, and they were happy to get it. It was just slabs that people wouldn't search out otherwise. It's like people wouldn't search them out and buy them. You put them in a mystery slab, and you say like, hey, it could be anything. It could be a boat. And then people buy it. Like I don't like it, but it is what it is. So I'll probably lean into the instant rips once it becomes more available. Once I can actually curate my own things, I'll buy a bunch of slabs. I'll send them to the vault, and I'll be popping up different. Maybe it'll be a weekly thing. Maybe it'll be a nightly thing. I don't even know. We'll see how the buy-in is by the consumers. Look out, Milky Bags, Thrift Bags about to come onto the scene. L-Dub says it's 40 feet of iron pipe, no shot. I'm DIY. Call PokePlumber. Yeah, call.
There we go.
With the amount of sealed product PokePlumber has, I mean, I feel like his hourly labor rate might be pretty solid. Might be fairly expensive, but I'd imagine he does very good work. All that I see him doing those stories on Instagram, buying XY, buying Sun Moon, no limit. He's always saying, man's got some product.
Oh yeah, he does.
L-Dub's got quoted $19K to fix it. Man, that's 2,000 packs of 151. That's rough. That's very rough. But if you've got 30K of sealed product, I mean, it sounds like you've got your fixed plumbing right there. Not going to feel good, but question for both. If you owned an LGS, how would you deal with MetaZoo Poncho Box situation? Sell cases only or sell Poncho Boxes at market value?
Definitely sell the boxes at whatever they go for. I don't think it makes sense to sell cases. That's something we were to do. I haven't looked it up. Do the base box cases have any type of premium over loose boxes?
Usually a little bit, but I think Hills Wholesale Gaming has them on right now at no premium. I think they're just selling them at the same as what they sell 12 loose boxes.
Man.
Which I say that, and I was actually, let me see, what's 85 times 12, I believe, is 1,020. It is. There's no premium. I'm going to add them to my cart right now before somebody buys them all out. Maybe nobody's going to buy them all out. But I was moving stuff around recently, and I only have 5 sealed cases of MetaZoo base set left.
Man.
I want more than I have. I don't want to place the order right now because I'm actually traveling next week, and I would worry that it would get here too soon. But I have on my to-do list, and that's not counting the pallet. So the pallet technically does have 8. So I have half of that. So I have 9, counting the 4 that I have on the pallet for me. But I might buy before Torrential Tides comes out. I might buy a little bit more MetaZoo base set. And I don't want to do it in loose boxes. I want to do it in sealed cases. But if I had an LGS, I would deal with it exactly the same way that I deal with the Mothman boxes currently. I did break down a bunch. I do have. Or did I? Oh yeah, it's right there. I was gonna say. I think I have it in my background. I would break down some. I would sell the sealed cases as a premium, a slight premium to the loose regular boxes. I would sell the regular boxes at the regular box price. I would sell these at what they go for. And if people had desire, I would say, hey guys, I have a bunch of people who are talking about wanting to get a fair shot at a thing. If I was selling the regular ones at 80, I would do the math on like maybe I'd do 85 or 90 bucks times 12. And I would say, put your name down. Let's fill out a case break in the LGS. I would say, hey, we're going to do it live on YouTube. We're going to do it live on Instagram, whatever. I would do it in a way so that it was like, it was fair and it was verified and it was clear that no one was cheating or lying or stealing. And I would say like Friday night at 8 p.m., we're going to break this live in store. Be here if you want to, if you're in on it or if you're not in on it. We'll break it in front of everybody live on Instagram. And then if there's one inside of it, we'll do a wheel spin. We'll do a randomization 1 through 12. Everyone is attributed to a certain number. And then, yeah, somebody's going to get the Mothman box for that price. That's how we've been running the live streams. We've only broken 4 cases and we're over 4 right now. So unfortunately, we haven't sold one. But yeah, that's exactly the way we do it now on the streams. We sell loose boxes for a discount that are not Mothman ones. And then we do for a premium, we do a case break. And yeah, we're just over 4, unfortunately. But they're approximately 1 in 10 from everything I've heard so far. So hopefully we eventually get one. Next set, Torrential Tides actually has them too. So my plan will be, pending what the prices are going for, my plan will be like $120 to buy into a case break and have a chance for the, I believe it's going to be a Jet Yates alternate art box in the Torrential Tides set. And then, yeah, it'll be $120 for a case break, or it'll be $110 for a loose box or something like that, just to provide 2 options. But this is one thing I'll say. A lot of negativity in the MetaZoo Discord and in MetaZoo Facebooks and MetaZoo YouTube about, oh man, I want a fair chance at getting the poncho box, but my LGS did this, my LGS did that. I told people in Discord about Hills Wholesale Gaming. So like, there are some vendors that are selling them fair shot. You got to buy a sealed case. Well, then some people say like, I don't have enough money. I post my link. It's like, hey guys, we're doing case breaks live on eBay, live on Fanatics. And I think a lot of people will just say like, oh man, bummer. I would love to have a fair shot at one. And then you present them the opportunity and then they don't buy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's some people, and it's dangerous to say this, but some people will just complain to complain. I know that to be true.
Exactly.
That's me speaking on behalf of myself. I have no involvement in the printing or production or any of that of MetaZoo. But yeah, that goes on in the Pokemon space. That goes in and outside of the cardboard world as well. But I would do it exactly like that if I had an LGS. And I overall, not because I benefit from it, not because I truly, as a collector, engaging with it in that fashion, I like the poncho box thing. Do you like it or do you hate it?
I really like it.
I like it a lot too. And it's not just that, like some people would say, oh, as an evil capitalist businessman, you make more money, so that's why you like it. I don't think I make more or less money. It depreciates all my
I think you 100% do.
Do I?
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't make any more money?
Where have I made more money? I think the loose boxes are worth less.
Getting a poncho box and selling it.
Well, I haven't sold any. I opened the one and I sold the graded cards, and but I truly the problem is, for every one poncho box, yes, it's great. You get one poncho box. You have 119 non-poncho boxes.
Yeah, that you open, you sell boxes.
Well,
so
you're
getting 120 boxes, assuming they're regular boxes. you get one poncho box. There's what do they even go for now? $1,000, 1,500.
Well, say they go for 1,200. I think that box being 1,200, I think that lowers the price of the other boxes by $5 or $10 a piece, which overall is break even. Overall, I don't think. Maybe I don't buy into it though. I think the EV in my position as the business buying them, I think it's the same. No. I could be entirely wrong there, but I truly think, yes, that goes for a premium. But I only opened a few. I opened a few, and I could sell them for a bunch of money. But like I think I'm selling my non-poncho boxes for that much less, if that makes sense. Like if that box is worth,
they didn't have poncho boxes, the boxes would be worth $5, $10 more than they are right now.
I think there's a lot of because there's a lot of people.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Let me tell you how it makes perfect logical sense. So there are certain vendors that bought 100 cases of MetaZoo, and you know what a lot of them did? I don't want to name names, but I know of some who had 1,000 boxes of MetaZoo, nearly 100 cases. They searched every single case immediately, and they pulled out every poncho box. And a lot of them sold them for a profit. And you know what a lot of them did? A lot of them dumped the loose single boxes on eBay. Let me search MetaZoo base set box right now. I want to say they're 80, or maybe even slightly under 80. More people have single box listings than would otherwise. More cases got broken down to the single loose boxes than would have if the poncho didn't exist. So I do think, supported by, like, it's anecdotal. We don't know for sure. We don't know what the alternate reality would have looked like without them. But I think the low list on eBay for one single box is $5 or $10 lower than it would be had poncho boxes not existed. Because artificially, more loose base boxes exist than would have in this alternate reality. More of those would just be sealed cases. More of those people wouldn't have torn through so many so quickly, looking to just dump the poncho box or the non-poncho boxes. It makes sense, right?
I can see the argument, yes.
You can see the line of reasoning.
I don't think that's a thing, though. I can see it.
It might not be,
but
that's my supposition. That's my theory. I could be incorrect, but like I truly think that's correct. I think that's what's happening.
I think even with Pokemon, you have more people buying loose boxes. So maybe stores aren't ripping open cases as quickly, but they're still opening those cases to sell single boxes.
Oh man, chat's wilding. Is so stupid on the bingo card. Dan's cookout: be cooked or stay cooking. PokePlumber would let you pay in sealed products, so that might be the play. Oh, we were just talking about these, but Alex PokeCR wants to know any new news about the OSP mystery packs.
I replied to him. Nothing yet. Coming soon, though. It is coming soon.
Is there any like we know the meaty bags? We know what Alex does. Alex sells like single packs. 1 in 40 or 1 in 50 will get a slab. Are you doing? Is it only slabs? Or is it going to be a slab and pack product, or can you not give us anything?
No, I think the first time I do it, it'll be a slab, some packs, some pins. It'll be a mixture of stuff.
Oh no, you're gonna pawn off pins on people?
Of course.
Oh, are you gonna have any of these pins in it?
Which pins? Oh God, I saw your big Instagram reveal. The new Riddle Grisser over there.
Yeah, he's got an SR, which means I'm terrible. I don't even know. I don't think every SR in MetaZoo had an equivalent alt art, or did it? Maybe it did. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but overall, I like the chase box thing. It leads to some drama. But like I think a lot of that drama is going to happen one way or the other, anyways. We have we have that.
I think there is ways that you can make it a lot more fair than what's currently being offered right now.
Well, how's that?
Like make it more, because like the Milky Bags, he's making a ton of money. He could make less money and do the same thing.
That comes down to consumers. Like Supreme could sell T-shirts for less than $150. All these luxury items that are they're limited. They're artificially limited. All your Gucci items selling backpacks for $3,000 that are made in sweatshops for 50 cents or $2. I don't think that's a good argument. Let the consumer decide what they're willing to pay, and if the consumer's willing to pay it, you're fine charging it. That's my take entirely. When I do my instant rips, so that's my take. But in practice, when I do my instant rips, when I did box breaks years ago, I did videos on breaking down the entire proposed profit, exactly how much I was going to charge, exactly how much I was going to make my risks. And a lot of people told me, Dan, you're crazy. You're making too little. You should make more. Like, you should charge more. In practice, if and when I do instant rips, mystery bags, I'll probably make my margins a lot lower than milky bags. But like, he's transparent. He has a price. He shows what you can get, and people buy it. It's like, Nick, you and I sit down side by side at the blackjack table. We know that we're supposed to lose $100 an hour. We're supposed to lose $50 an hour. And we choose to sit down anyways because we're degens, because we're dummies. Who cares? We go to a bar and we pay $10 for an IPA that you could have at home for $2. It's like, I truly, if you sell your squirter sacks, whatever they are, if you sell them and you make 5 times on your money and people happily buy them knowing what's inside of them, it's fair game. I think it's honorable.
I think there are morals that you have to fulfill. That one. Obviously, if you don't have a single moral, yes, you could charge whatever you want. But if you're a decent human being, then yes, you do have it. You have a responsibility to these buyers to be fair.
So what's fair? What's the maximum profit margin that you should be able to make? Well, we're having the MSRP of Destined Rivals debate all over again.
I think if you say market price plus 20%, that is more than fair. Because then you're making 20% fair, 40-50% on what you spent on the stuff for.
So say that we go through a big downfall and you source $100,000 worth of inventory and it crashes 50%. Now, are you allowed to make a little bit more because of the circumstances, or do you have to go down to market still? Like,
no, I think you have to go down to market.
Here's
I don't think you can pawn off your losses onto buyers.
Dan is like the Balenciaga of Pokemon. I truly, like, I'm nearly as transparent as it gets in the space. I openly buy packs. I've got, where is it? Where is my OBS? I lost it. Here it is. I openly buy packs. Oh, there's a spoiler for my Monday post. I'm gone fishing on Monday, so I'm not going to be buying packs. But let me show you. Let me show you my other one. I openly show you what I'm buying them for. I openly say that I'm selling them for 100, 105, 110% of market. Like, you can figure out my margins. You can figure out everything. If I just so happened to have enough of a following and I was selling, like, say I had the following of like one of these, like a PokeRev or a DPM, and there were more people that wanted to have a pack opened by me than I could feasibly open. Like, I'm only going to open 1,000 packs a week because that's all my fingers can handle. If I charge 200% of market and people know that I'm charging 200% of market, I don't think that's immoral. I don't think that's unethical. I'm one person. There's a finite supply of how many packs I can open, how much supply I can put out there. And that's like saying Taylor Swift, it costs her no more to make her music than she used to make 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Is Taylor Swift immoral for now charging 10 times as much for a concert? No, because the demand is there. And that's entirely moral and ethical because she's the product. She has a finite amount of concerts she can have, and it's unreasonable. Like, that is such a ridiculous, unreasonable claim to say that some margin is too much, in my opinion.
But you're arguing people. This is product. PokeRev opening packs for people. Yes, there is only
Taylor Swift is a product.
Whatever. Milky Bags, it's not whatever his name is streaming. He's streaming. He has other streamers.
But it's still a brand.
There is an unlimited amount of product that you can buy.
But people like, here's another one. Around me, you can get a large pizza for like $14-15. When I went to PK lives in Connecticut. Some distance from him is like New Haven, like where pizza was supposedly born or whatever, or at least like that kind of pizza that's really popular. And we went to two places that are down the street from each other. We paid like $30 a pizza. It's a product. They can make as many pizzas as they want to. Their margins are really high, but it's a hell of a popular place. People come from all over the country. That Dave Portnoy rated them really highly. And yeah, they can pump out pizzas all day. Like it's not immoral for them to sell a $30 pizza. I was a happy consumer to buy and eat a $30 pizza. I knew what I was getting into. I know that I can buy one for half price around me, half price. I probably could have gone 10 minutes down the road and bought a pizza for half price, but it wouldn't have been a Frank Pepe's. It wouldn't have been a Sally's. And to me, I'm going to stand on, and I will die on this hill. It is absurd to put limitations on like what people are allowed when people are willingly engaging buying in a fully transparent process. Do you think Frank Pepe's is immoral? Do you think that they should be required to expand their operation? They should supply everyone $15 pizzas because they can make a 20% profit margin that is fair and just and fine? Or do you think it's reasonable for them to say, hey, I'm the humble fisherman. I'm going to run my one store operation. Frank Pepe's might actually have two. They might have more. I don't know. But I think it's reasonable to say, like, I'm a one-man operation. I'm going to run this one thing, and I'm just going to charge more. I'm going to charge more, and people are going to pay it. And everyone, who's the victim? Who's the victim? What are we talking about?
It's the same as PokeRev and Taylor Swift. They don't want to expand. It's a one-person operation. And then, I don't know. I just think there's more of a community aspect in Pokemon. If you want Pokemon to be here long term and you want it to do well long term, you need to encourage people to stay in the hobby, not take every penny that these people have and then turn them off of the hobby in 6 months. It's so, I hate it. It's so ridiculous.
Why would that not? I'm genuinely asking a question. I'm going to think through this in real time too. Why, like, would you say that to Frank Pepe about pizza?
No, because there's not a community of people enjoying pizza.
I think there's tons of communities of people enjoying pizza. I'm going to go on Reddit right now.
It's not the same.
Pizza Reddit, r/pizza. There's a community of, where do they show how many people? 1.8 million people. A community of 1.8 million people on the R Pizza subreddit.
It is not the same whatsoever. That's fired at the Italian community.
I think it's a very interesting debate. I think it's a very interesting conversation. Clearly, Nick and I have a difference of opinion on it. But the ironic part is that I'm arguing for what Arvin is doing with Milky Bags. And if and when I do meaty bags, I'm likely not going to emulate. And to be fair, and I'm going to push back on you some, do you know what % profit margin he's making? I don't know what he's making.
You could figure he is. I guarantee he's doubling his money.
Have you ever figured it out?
No, but I guarantee he's at least doubling.
It would take 15 minutes to sit down one time and to figure out what his margins are. And you're saying all these firm things about how evil he is.
Oh, because he is. I can't stand him.
You've never once sat down and figured it out?
No, because I don't care to.
What if you figured it out and it was 25% margins or 30% margins?
There's not a chance it's that low. There is no shot.
I'm going on vacation for a week, so I don't have the time to right now. But I am giving myself homework. I'm going to go into a Milky Bag stream some night, and I'm going to go to Alt. I'm going to do it randomly. I can't say the date because then maybe he'll make that day cheap. Maybe this clip will get to him and he'll make that day cheap. I'm going to go in, though, for a future PokeFlipz. It probably won't be the next one because I'm off for a week. a future PokeFlipz this summer, I'm gonna fully calculate at the time of the stream what is the EV on Milky Bags and how much money he's making, and we can dissect. How much money he's making.
Right off the top of your head, are you over or under doubling his money?
I don't think he's doubling his money, especially if you count fees and paying his streamers. I'd be shocked if he's doubling his money. And if he was, props to him for building such a big following, and maybe he'll milk his community and his community will crumble before yours and yours will outlast it. But if people know what's up, and they do, he shows everything. Here's the Milky Bags for tonight. Buy, and then people buy, and willing participants. I wouldn't be a buyer of that either. I would, and this is where too, I'm going to push back on you again, Nick. Destined Rivals, Journey Together. You sold for MSRP. Historically speaking, we buy product at $95 a box, $92.95 a box. 20% margins on that would be like $120. MSRP is $160, Nicholas. You sold your journey.
I said 40. I said, what did I say? 30-40%.
You see how
you're not buying stuff at 100% of market.
He buys slab. Arvin buys slabs at 95 to 100% of market very frequently.
Okay, so you're making 25% at my percentages.
One thing that I'll say is my logic, my line of reasoning, my arguments don't change. They don't change if you're selling to who you're selling to, what you're selling. They don't change whether it's pizza, whether it's concerts, whether it's Pokemon packs. My argument, my logic, my reasoning all follow. I feel like yours, there's more mental gymnastics going on. If it's packs,
yes, when you pay more for Destined Rivals, I'm gonna charge more. It makes perfect sense.
Didn't you limit how much Destined Rivals you sold at MSRP after selling all your journey at MSRP?
I kept the 4 cases for myself, and then I kept 1 case to run as auction the next week.
And then the rest was sold at MSRP?
Yes.
I thought you kept some more of it.
Well, the 4 cases I kept for myself.
Okay. I know other people in the space who had been big on, I'm selling all my prismatics, selling all my journey at MSRP. There are other people that dialed it back because Destined was so much more. There was so much more there that they ended, I'm doing X amount at this price, and then the rest just went wherever it went. But I truly, yeah, Nick is definitely a disgusting capitalist. The line is there. We're both on our sides of it. I like to think that my logic. Does anyone actually support old school Pokemon? I'm digging because like I think that's I think a lot of people, if you sit down with the MSRP scalper, think of the children, if you sit down and debate most of those people, you will see that they're playing mental gymnastics. You will see that oftentimes it's rules for thee, not for me. You will see that oftentimes they if you change it from Pokemon into something else, everything will change. My logic, my line of thinking, which I think is just purely built on like free market, let it be, let the buyer beware, all these things. I think it holds up regardless of what the item is. That said, one time that I am like, I will go for price controls. I won't go for price controls on Supreme t-shirts and Prada bags and Gucci, whatever, and this, that. I will go for price controls during times of emergency. I'm in upstate New York. We had a tornado go through our area recently. Very small, F0, F1, whatever it was. Nothing like what the Midwest sees. But in times of hurricanes and things like that, Walmart, Target, these places not scalping water, not raising generators. Actual necessities. I am very much for like government mandated, regulated price controls. But once you start talking about luxuries that no one needs, once you start talking, and pizza technically is food, but like it's a type of luxury food that no one needs. You can make your own pizza at home for $2. I'm very much just like, let the market and let people run businesses how they want to run them. And maybe Nick's right. Maybe Milky Bags are a thing of the past in a couple of years. Maybe I'm a thing of the past because I wasn't doing MSRP launches on Prismatic and Destined and stuff when others were. But yeah. I sell for market. I don't set the price. I just sell for it. That's my take.
I don't like it.
Very,
I don't like it.
It's a very interesting, spirited discussion, though. I think
It is.
It's a lot more interesting than me ranting and rambling for 5 minutes and then Nick saying, I pretty much agree. And then us going to the next one. And I like that we have this back forth. Nick wakes up. Nick perks up. He's engaging more, pushing back on me. Oh, you can absolutely make a pizza for $2 at home.
I was going to say, I think $2 is high.
Flour, water, salt, yeast. I make homemade pizzas on occasion. If you get insane with cheese, yes, you could put like $4 of cheese on one single pizza. But I guarantee you, buying wholesale, buying 10-pound bags of mozzarella cheese, pizzerias are making large pizzas for under $2. Yes, not counting the overhead, not counting the labor, but just the just the components. You can go to a grocery store and you can buy the components at full retail and you can make a pizza for under $2. Is it an 18-inch extra large Chicago deep dish? No, but you can make a reasonable homemade pizza that would feed my family of 4 for $2. Yes, absolutely. This is funny. I was mowing my lawn the other day and I was listening to a live stream Alex Nostalgianomics had, and he had so much pushback from his chat saying that like people could eat cheaper than they do. Like my household, we spend $1,000 a month on groceries. We spend a lot of money on groceries. We eat a lot of meat. We eat a lot of expensive stuff. I buy crab legs, things like that. If you went bare bones and you just like, if you ate cheap stuff, if your goal was to eat cheaply, we could eat for a couple $100 a month as a family. And people like, no way, that's impossible. Because you're eating like a lot of fancy crap. You're eating pre-made stuff. You're buying the $10 DiGiornos. No, you can't buy a DiGiorno for $10, but you can emulate one for $2. Absolutely. Kiki nearly went bankrupt trying to make a pizza at home.
What kind of pizza did you make? Lobster, king crab leg.
I just thought it was funny though, like how much people push back on him. Like and Alex was talking about, I think like the national average for like chicken breast is like $4 a pound. I often find chicken breast on sale for $1.99, $2.49 a pound at my grocery stores. And chicken breast with some rice, with some broccoli, like, and then a little bit of spices, seasoning, like
terrible meal right there.
It's not something I want to eat. What I want to eat is prime ribeye with some crab legs. What I do eat is bacon wrapped asparagus. But like, if you were on a budget and you had to watch your spending on food, you can do it. Like I've heard people make an argument that people go to fast food places because it's cheap. I have to spend $10 I have to spend $10 at McDonald's to get full. I can go to Walmart. I can buy with how expensive people say eggs are. I can buy an 18 count of eggs for like, what are they, $8 or something now? Is a dozen like $6?
Yeah.
4 eggs, 2 pieces of toast, a little bit of cheese, some salt, pepper. You got a nice cheese omelet going. Throw in a little bit of mushrooms for like, what are we talking for $4? For $4, I can make a killer omelet that's going to have me a 235-pound dude full. And people are saying like, oh, I go to McDonald's because I can't afford to cook at home. People are insane. People are insane.
That part doesn't make sense. That part doesn't make
I go and I get the $5 Taco Bell box, or $5 box that used to be $5 that now is like $9.
Yeah, this is not $5 anymore.
Go buy a pound of 80-20 ground beef for $5, and you can make and buy a thing of tortillas and buy. You can make 4 of those boxes for $5. Like, what are we talking about? Anyways, I think we're gonna end there. Any other things in closing, or?
I think we're good. Have a good 4th. Or wait, when are we live next? We're live July 3rd, so no, don't have a good 4th of July yet.
Have a good Canada. Have a good Canada Day.
Have a good Canada Day.
No. We're not live July 3rd. We're not live July 3rd. That's next week. I'm going to be in Canada still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so have a good 4th of July, everyone. Yeah, we're live the week after.
Everyone, have a good Canada Day. If you are in or around the Niagara Falls area for Canada Day, come say hi. I'm going to be the tall guy, maybe wearing a red Mizzou shirt or something. Maybe I'll wear a big American flag shirt in Canada on July 1st. Are they still really nice up there?
We're gonna see you on the news.
I know. Are they still really nice up there? Oh,
wear your American flag shirt plus a Trump hat. There you go.
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely not going that far. That that one will put me in a real bad spot. But yeah, I will be up there for the 1st. I'll be back for the 4th, but we will be back on July 10th. And I don't leave for New Jersey till we'll be live on July 10th. That date works for you, right? I'll have Ponga here. We'll probably be sipping on IPAs. We'll probably be like mid brisket cook. We'll have a brisket on the smoker, and we'll be having IPAs. So 2 weeks from now, be here because it is going to be a fun one. We're gonna have maybe pork belly, pulled pork. We're gonna have brisket. I'm getting myself hungry. I got to go eat dinner. But yeah, wear a tariffs on Canada rule. Sure. I don't want to get political, but I think we're paying them more than they're paying them, to be honest. But maybe it's shared a little bit. But with that, yeah, that probably is true. It's probably not advisable to wear American flags internationally. Maybe I'll support local, buy a nice maple leaf flag for Canada Day. No, I'll probably just wear a big Charizard shirt or something. So find me in the Charizard shirt on Canada Day by Niagara Falls.
Internationally accepted.
But, yeah, I'll try to spread Pokemon more and more worldwide. I think it's already solid though. But yeah, with that, we went off the rails, but it's always a lot of fun. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope everyone has a good Canada Day, 4th of July weekend, whatever you're celebrating.
Oh yeah, have a good luck at Card Party and the Cleveland, whoever's going to those.
Good look at Card Party, Cleveland, whatever other local convention you're going to. Come say hi. We will catch you all later.